Wow. Hello, chat. Hello, hello. Hi, 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 Jesse. Hi, Marvel. Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm a little bit 5 minutes late, but I was just checking my audio and stuff, making it work. Sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I was shoveling snow, so I was too busy to stream yesterday. That's right, stop time. Time to draw more. Sandy art. I'm out of art. As you see, I posted the last picture we drew yesterday. Well, today, not yesterday. So we're gonna draw more stuff. What the hell? Why are you throwing cheese at me? Let me see if I can find a picture of the Virgin Killer sweater. We might be able to draw that for packet. Hold on. The bronze legacy will explode. Hi, Wing. And hello also, Burra, because I don't think I said it. What the fuck? I'm literally trying to draw. Well, I'm literally trying to get references. Hey! Stop blowing me up. I'm trying to get the music and everything. Stop! 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 We should do a draw pile stream where I do teach you guys. I do want to do a draw teaching stream. Stop! Stop! I'm trying to explain art stuff to the fans. You sons of a bitches! I hate you. I hate you. Yeah, because Fua's been asking to do a art stream with me for a long while, and I was like, oh, I could teach Fua. Fua's actually learned a lot though recently, so it would hardly be me teaching Fua at this point. So it would be a stream. Fua's gotten way good. Like Fua's really fucking good, chat. I'm starting to get jealous. What do you mean explain the Twitter post? I posted it today. That was the fact slop we drew last week. How about I blow you up? How about that? And shut the hell up and pay attention, chat. It's art time. We're gonna sketch the Virgin Killer sweater on Packet's body at the very least. Shut up! I hate you. I hate you all. I hate you all. You're pissing me off. You're pissing me off. I'm gonna take away all the redeems. I'm gonna tell Petite to come in here and remove all your redeeming powers. Petite's right. You guys do rage bait me pretty easily. Yeah, like I was saying, me and Fool were planning on doing an art stream together where I was gonna teach Fool how to draw more. I could probably teach Fool more. But yeah, I should probably ask him. I'll probably maybe ask Fool today if he still wants to do the art stream. I'll probably ask Fool like later today if he still wants to do that, and we'll stream together, guys. Fuck off! Hi, Sylvie. We're drawing Packet's commission right now. We're drawing Packet right now. Before we draw more Sandy Slop, I'm gonna draw the Virgin Killer sweater like sketch for Packet, and then we'll keep doing it. I was talking to Sylvia about earlier how I was like, oh, me and Fua a long time ago were like, oh, we should draw together where I could like do a draw pile and teach Fua and anyone else, like any other VTubers who want to draw with me, how to draw, like with what little I know. Fua's gotten way better though, so it'd be fun to do with other people. I want to do it with like Lychee because I know Lychee also likes drawing. I could bring Lychee in it as well, even if he doesn't stream it. So like it could be me, Fua, just teaching our two chats how to draw along with Lychee and everyone else. Well, you don't need a tablet. Maybe I can get Sherry to join us for like one of his days and I can just teach him a few art things, but Sherry would try to rage bait me, so maybe I'll just teach Fua. Maybe I won't bring Shui. Sherry already had his art stream day and I missed it because I was out, stuck at the DMV. You don't have no, Shelby. It's okay. You can join us on like a piece of paper. Hello, hello, hi. Because I really do wanna, really do want to do it. I'm not trying to drive. Fuck that shit. I was there with my sister because we were supposed to go to my aunt's house, and then we got stuck at the DMV for like the whole day. I was not trying to drive. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. So I missed the whole thing. Yeah, well, draw pile's the easiest stuff for me to draw with people.
You guys have a prime.
I can draw.
Slap that prime on the table like a
everyone,
big
so
fucking
it's easier to do it on there.
Show everybody that you have a big fucking dick today and slap that prime on the fucking table right now.
Ah! I can draw with Fua and them, etc. Because it's way easier than just like, looking at the stream and being so delayed and telling Fua do this, do that. It's better to teach everyone to draw pile because drawing programs do not make you a better artist, chat. They do not. Your chat, you're really trying to make me angry today, chat. I'm trying to teach you, tell you good things. You're trying to rage bait the hell out of me. I'm telling Petite on you. But yeah, like I said earlier, guys, my back hurts. That's why I didn't stream yesterday. I was outside shoveling like snow, and it hurt my back so hard. You don't know what draw pile is? It's like one of the most popular, like... Do you know any, like, group drawing program? That is what draw pile is. It's just, like anything. It's like MAGA, or other ones I never use at all. You all draw on the same canvas at the same time. A bunch of artists use it. I used to be in, like, a few groups that did, like, every day. I mean, I still am. I just don't go in there and do it anymore. I couldn't stream it anyways, because most of them, like, probably will draw, you know, not safe work as well, that I can't stream. Sherry did it on his stream. I'm taking away your permissions. No more plap. Alerts are gone. Blame Jesse. All sound alerts are gone. They're all gone, chat. Nah, I'm kidding. They're back. But yeah, Sherry did it on his stream. Sherry did it on his stream like a few days ago when he was doing his art stream day. But he never did anything with it fully, and the thing got closed by accident anyways. Chat's job is to not be disrespectful to me. But what was I saying? I'm trying to like remember what I'm saying. I'm very tired, chat, as you can tell. I'm very clearly tired. But yeah, Sherry put it up on his stream for like a day. It got shut down and he never put it back up anyways. And then he just played drawing games on stream anyway. So we didn't really get to do an art stream at all that day. Which sucked because I was gone for most of the day and it sucked a lot. Yes, bro, draw pile. I'm still talking about draw pile. But yes. I'll probably do a stream one, but only with VTubers because I can't like... I can't really trust people to not like draw something that I probably shouldn't have on stream if I just let chat do it. So I won't ever probably stream it with chat allowed to come in there. Yeah, it was lame. Lame, I couldn't come to the Shuri one because I was stuck at the
Let's go
DMV for dumb
gambling!
nonsense. I try my best to make my art decent. Yeah, I'll see if Fua still wants to do that drop pal stream. I don't know what we'll draw though. We need at least somewhat an idea. I don't really have like a full idea for what me and Packet, not me and Packet, me and Fool will do. Maybe we could just draw our VTuber friends. That's probably simple. Thank you. Yeah, I'll probably just like, we'll probably practice like drawing Shiri, Shizu, Fionta, Ace, Eyes, Packet. We'll probably draw them. Me and Fua's mutual friends. We'll draw our mutual friends and Packet and practice with them. Hey, yo, Crow. No, but I said I would do it, but I won't stream it because I can't trust you guys to not draw porn while we're streaming it. We've already done community drop pal nights like a long time ago, but I haven't done them recently because, you know, everything's been so busy with Christmas, Thanksgiving, the Inktober thing, the snowstorm. It's even 3 months of huge, big, busy events. The entirety of Inktober, the entirety of November with commissions and Thanksgiving with me having to cook, the entirety of December with getting Christmas set up. And you know, the snowstorm that has been happening. Like I just said, I was out all day yesterday. My back hurts from shoveling snow. You know, the entire snowstorm that's destroying the entirety of the U.S. that I live in. Yeah, I would never stream it. We've done it before in the server. We pinged everyone for it a while ago, but like it was only for 2 nights. But I'll most definitely do it again once things have finally settled down here. Like it was gonna be like a Sunday night thing. Yeah, my back is so sore. Like, I tried walking around earlier. Like, it really, really hurts. Like, it didn't hurt yesterday, but, like, I'm very physically not well. Obviously, chat. I'm supposed to be in the hospital for my weight. But in this country, they don't do that. So, I'm very, like, physically underweight. Like, severely underweight for, like, my height and stuff. So, like, me doing physical labor is very bad for me, but my mom doesn't really care about that. She doesn't understand like health and science, so it's not a real issue towards her. But yeah, it's not. It hurts a lot for me to do these type of things. I'm physically like very weak. Yeah, guys, me being like 90 to 100 pounds and being 5'7" is medically underweight. I would be kept in the hospital in most other countries. I'm severely underweight. Like literally on Monday, chat, on Sunday when the storm like really started, I leak like if I actually stayed outside for more than like 20 minutes, I more than likely would have died. Like, I can't stay outside in 16-degree weather, even with multiple layers, for like more than 20 minutes. It's not healthy for me. Like, it's not healthy for me to like go outside in this weather. It's like I'm in actual physical pain, chat. This isn't a bit. I'm in actual physical pain. I'm unhealthy. I don't say too much, that's why. And also, it's kind of normal for me. I live my whole life like this, so I never notice it. Well, lucky for you, Zach. But yeah, I'm fine, chat. I made sure not to go outside on Sunday anyways, because I knew I wouldn't survive. But I'm fine. My back is just sore. I'll be fine later. It was warmer on It was warmer on Monday, so I was fine going outside. Also, hi Mimic, and hello Loveruki. Hello. Why shouldn't I be streaming? Well, I mean, streaming's not hurting my back. Shoveling snow hurts my back. Streaming doesn't hurt my back. I'm in a chair that I have adjusted to whatever I want to lay at to lean my back at, and I have a massage gun. Besides, I do want to draw a bit. It's not hurting my... I'm using my arm. I'm not really hurting my back to draw. Yeah, I like streaming. Listen, chat, I am like the main advocate. I'm the main advocate of telling like people who I care about, even if they don't listen to me. I'm not going any further on that. That if streaming's making you stressed out and you're getting worried and you're stressing yourself out and it's bad for you, clearly it's causing bad things and you're you're pretty much overdoing your streams to an unhealthy degree, I am the first one to tell you to stop doing it. So if I tell someone to do it, I most definitely will do that as well for myself. Because I have a few friends, I'm not going to name any names specifically, who started streaming and are taking it very unhealthy. Like even late at night, I see them streaming until like 4 a.m., which is not good because they've probably been streaming for like 12 hours the whole day. And I know I stream long, chat. I know sometimes I go 12 hours and what have you. But like that's like a rare thing for me, you know? Like my streams on average, like art streams, average like maybe 10 hours when we're having a really good art stream. And it only really goes past the 12 if we're playing a game I really love, which was Xenoblade. But other than that, my streams don't really go past like 5 hours on average. You wish you could stream that long, but being a wage slave is suffering. I wish I had a little bit of a wage slaving. It would encourage me to, like, but they wouldn't encourage me for anything. I just wish I had more money. I did wear a lot of layers when I went out, but like the reason I didn't go out on Sunday is because even if I wore a lot of layers, I would be so encumbered because of how thick my layers were that I couldn't really even shovel snow if I wanted to. I'd be just a fucking thing. But yeah, I see them like streaming a lot. One of them even told me like, oh, I'm so stressed out because of my streaming, or I need to make my money for streams. And like, not to say anything, but they don't really have that many viewers either. I'm like, you don't need to stress yourself out. I saw one of my friends trying to buy like a mic that was like over $500. Chat, my mic that you guys got me, like this mic that you hear me use, is not even $100. Like if you remember, guys. But like, I'm like, you guys don't need to be spending all this money and wasting all this stuff when you guys don't have that big of a viewership yet. You don't have to do all that. Spending all this money, streaming for all these unreasonable amounts of hours isn't healthy for you. Hello, regular boy. But I was like, yeah, like for like general Sandy stream advice, regardless of like my friends and their well-being. Chat members, don't spend a lot of money on streaming. Like any VTuber, like even Solvi will tell you this. The most recommended thing that most VTubers will tell you is do not spend a fuck ton of money on streaming if you don't actually have a fan base. That's kind of reckless. Don't spend a lot of money. Don't stream for unreasonable hours. Like, it's not good. Because I see them stressing themselves out and streaming to an unreasonable amount of hours, and I explain to them that they probably shouldn't be doing that because I don't even stream as much as they do. If you can believe it, that the people I'm talking about stream more than me, and you guys know how long my streams get. Like, on average, they stream like those very long streams I do almost daily, and I tell them, you shouldn't do this. It's a bad idea, and it's not good for your health. I tell them it's not good. Puff! Hello, Puff. I'll do my squats. My back may hurt, but my legs don't. Your headphones are 100? My headphones are $20, Chad. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Spend money as you grow, but don't, like... The main thing I was telling to them is, it's okay, Puff. I made sure to stop. I didn't stay outside for a long time when I felt my back was hurting. 1. If I keep up 2. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hope you know I had to take my pants off to do this. Also, hi, Lil Polybun. Yeah, spend your money as you grow, chat. You don't need to spend like a huge absorbent amount of money to become a, you know, a good streamer. Hi, Wi-Fi.
Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, why are you clapping me?
Get pregnant, get pregnant, get pregnant, get pregnant!
Why? Oh, well, I was talking about my friends, Puff, who have been streaming, like, daily for unhealthy amounts of hours. Like, they just started. So, like, they've been streaming to upwards of, like, 10 to 12 hours every day. And pretty much they've kind of excommunicated themselves from most of our friend group because they're streaming too much all the time. And I'm like, this isn't healthy for you. And I don't think doing this is a healthy thing. I think it's bad. Like, they've been spending... What about my pants? Oh, because it's easy. It's easier to move around when I don't have clothes encumbering me. So I squat without my pants on. I do that all the time. Yeah, Chad, don't spend a lot of money. Don't be buying like $100 worth of mics. That's kind of ridiculous. I was just wearing like sweatpants, but they're kind of tight on me, like my Wool Market ones. It's a little bit tight around my legs. And obviously my crop top, so I keep my crop top on. I didn't say they're tight. I said they're a little tight. Slightly tight. They're not tight. They're extra large, and you guys already know my legs are skinny. You know they're not tight on me. But there is no meat around, there's barely any meat around my legs. It's all in my thighs, for the most part. And even then, my thighs are not huge. You know it's not actually tight on me. Like, you know it's not skinny. You guys have seen me. And you've seen me in the sweatpants. You can see they're baggy. It's just a little tight in some areas when I'd rather squat. It's more so like they're just kind of short, which is why they tighten around, because even though they're baggy, they're not as long, so they still get tighter on my legs if I start flexing. Hold on, let me put my legs down. I can't sit in mating press position because I think that might hurt my back. Your redeem? I wasn't looking. I was yelling at Puff. And Puff is a bad mod because he didn't tell me about the redeem. So blame Puff. There you go. Blame the mod. He's here. He should have said something. Main position. I posted it on my Twitter. I posted even art of me doing it. I talked about it for days, bruh. But you're so far behind on Sandy lore. You're so far behind. For shame. For shame, bruh. You haven't seen the art. You haven't seen the pictures. You haven't seen the streams. For shame. This is what happens, chat. You miss so much Sandy plot. In just a few weeks, you miss so much lore. I bet you're not even aware of the One Piece, of me reading One Piece, and me working on a One Piece D&D. Yeah, that's pretty much the same for anybody. Everyone's life is falling apart. Everything's crumbling around your ears. That's how it happens. Hi, Matthew. Yeah, at least we have chill vibes now, past the fucking nonsense of rage baiting. Also, I'm very glad to see that the Sonic EXE community is recovering from their huge explosion of drama that happened recently. I was so worried. Well, I wasn't so worried. I was just like, oh, that kind of sucks. Don't worry, no one. I don't think I said you had to ban anybody. Look at Puck. He's being such a good mod today. Yeah, also, like I said, I'm glad the Sonic EXE community is recovering. I was worried about them after all the Sonic EXE drama that was happening the last few days. I was going to be very sad if I didn't really have a reason to draw Sonic art anymore. Because I saw so many EXE creators doing some very embarrassing takes, harassing people, manipulating people over the last few days. The fall of outcome memories was so awful. Well, it was all on Twitter, so I don't know any of these people personally. I know the guy who owns Furnace, like, you know, God, please don't be porn on this tab. Please don't be porn on this tab. Please don't be porn on this tab. Okay, good. It's Sonic EXE. Apparently this happens every few years. This happened with like the Friday Night Funkin' mod versus Sonic EXE, where pretty much a lot of people, like the entire game fell apart and everyone just had a whole bunch of drama, blah blah blah. And I know the guy who owns like the original version of this character. Well, Sonic EXE and Sonic fan bases are surprisingly extremely separate. You barely see any crossover. But yeah, the guy who owns like Furnace and Starve, I know him a decent amount, but so pretty much all this drama stemmed around the guy who owns the modern versions of these two characters, which the modern versions of the characters are now completely canceled and are not happening anymore. At least not under the original guy's ownership. But the entire game of Outcome Memories, the Roblox game that you guys saw me play a few times, that was like a ASIM game. That game is completely canceled now. So pretty much what happened is, like, with what usually happens from what I've learned in Sonic EXE drama, is like a lot of miscommunication happened, a lot of people misinterpreted what other people said, and it led to a bunch of issues and problems because people didn't talk to each other, and that caused a ton of issues and caused people to leave the dev team over the few months, caused the game to get put on hiatus, then it caused it to come back, and then they fired the community manager who kept the fan base, what was it? They fired the community manager who kept the fan base motivated and happy. So like the community manager was managing the whole fan base while they were gone, like while all the dev team was on hiatus and keeping up hope. And then when the dev team finally officially came back, they immediately fired him, which was an accident because apparently he was just supposed to get demoted, and then wires got crossed, communication got mixed up, and the dev team just tried to throw him under the bus, and it didn't work out well, and everyone was like, you're very obviously manipulating him, and you guys are very bad owners, etc. By this time, a lot of the community was very upset and tired of the bullshit the dev team was doing. So the game just kind of eventually got shelved, and the owner of the game got, like, doxxed, where people went to his house and started throwing snowballs at it. So they're like, yeah, it's best to just cancel the game. It's not worth it. Everyone just move on, and everyone moved on. A lot of people made up for the most part. Most of the XC owners apologized for even, you know, agreeing to justify what the devs were doing and how they were treating the community manager, because they fired him without telling him why. They fired him with a DM. They lied about it being a discussion, etc. Blah blah. And to this day, he still didn't really know why he was fired. At least as of now, we still don't know. Like, this all happened like in the last like 3 days. Like, they kicked him from the dev server in his sleep. They fired him in his sleep. He didn't know really anything of what was happening. And he was mad, obviously, because if you get fired without being told, you have right to be mad. And they tried to shame him, saying like, oh, you shouldn't have gone to your fan base and told them you were fired. It's like, he was mad and no one was talking to him, and they all blocked him and removed him from the server, so he couldn't really talk to anybody to begin with. And when he kept asking, everyone was just doing quote-unquote vague posts. Yeah, it was hella sketchy. Everyone was doing the whole vague posting, and chat members, I hate vague posting. It's so stupid. I understand doing it on Twitter, but there's no point in doing it DMs and not telling people the truth in DMs. You vague post on Twitter to protect people. You don't vague post on DMs for no reason. Hi, Sammy. But yeah, that's what happened. The game got canceled, and it's all over now. No more outcome memories, and a lot of the owners of these AEXEs really made themselves look like jackasses. They just started shitting on this guy unpromptly and being so rude to him. And now they're apologizing. Like the owner, the owners of the owners of Starved in Furnace was being a huge head ass and embarrassed himself. Yeah. The owners of these guys also was making himself like a jackass. The owner of this guy was one of the main contributors and looked like a huge jackass and hasn't apologized yet. The owner of this one was being a huge... The owner of this one was being, throwing stones in a glass house. Essentially, they also got ganged up twice. Like, they were the center of controversy for this game and the Friday Night Funkin' mod, where they got ganged up on twice with false allegations and just being harassed for things they didn't do. And when this was happening to this other person, they did not take their side and instead took the side of the other people. And everyone was like, aren't you kind of a hypocrite? This happened to you like twice already and you know how bad it is. So why are you taking the side of people who do this? I mean, it's not fair to really call it that. I mean, the characters and the writing and the stories are still cool, and it sucks that the work of all these people got thrown out. Because, like, this isn't, like, one-off. Like, it wasn't just these creators. There were a ton of artists, a ton of modelers, a ton of musicians. Dude, they had the literal actual singer from Crush 40 make a song for this game. This isn't cringe. They had a lot of people with really high-quality talents. Also, Senpai, thank you for following, and I love you, Semi-Bun. I love you. I love you. Even the owner of this guy just left and decided to not get involved in it at all. But yeah, like, a lot of these guys just, like, they're very bad at communicating. And, hi, Grave. And it just caused a mess. And it sucks that a lot of the work and all these models that people made and all the music that people made, like, a lot of this music they paid for were from actual, like, musicians and singers. Like, it was, like, $1,000 to get the singer of Crush 40 to sing a song for this game. They paid a lot of money for this game, and because of the owners, it's not the fault of the coders, it's not the fault of the artists. Spenny, thank you for following. Thank you. It's not the fault of the coders, the modelers, or the artists, or the musicians. It's the fault of the owners and, like, the higher-ups fucking up the game, really. Because, like, the work from all the people, like, the people who were actually making the things, they were doing really, really well. It was the owners and their incompetence that really caused the game to, like, have this happen, and them just being very childish. Because they were, like, they're Roblox devs. They're, like, young adults, teenagers. So it's not really a surprise that it happened. It's pretty much expected that would happen. And I know a lot of people on Twitter are like, oh, you can't make an excuse for kids. Like, yeah, but they're just stupid. They're kids. Kids are dumb. It's not an excuse. It's just, like, you have to expect that they're going to be dumb. They shouldn't... It sucks. But it's like, it's kind of expected that, young kids would make, mistakes that young kids would make. Yeah, because like I said, the owner got doxxed. Someone went to his house. Like, regardless of how bad he was as an owner, he wasn't an asshole. He was just a dumb kid. He's only, like, 17. Used to be friends with a famous Roblox dev. Whoa. Yeah, it does suck the game's, like, fully shelved and now it just has bad things around it. But, with how popular it was, there'll be people who will try to remake it. A lot of the modelers are just giving away some of the models for free. Like, they're just saying, like, here's the full rigs and files for my models for, like, the Rouge, Omega, and Shadow ones and stuff like that. A lot of the musicians are still finishing their songs, but they're not going to make anything else outcome memories related. A lot of artists are not going to make anything outcome memories related anymore. And it sucks for a lot of them because they're like, oh, I made a lot of friends here. I learned a lot about 3D modeling. My skills improved a lot. And now most of my work won't get to see the light of day. Because the work of so many people, because they had like 70 devs on that team. 70 people who were making like a passion project. And it got ruined because of like 5 people. 5 people ruined the whole passion project for like 70 people who really enjoyed working on it and really like, you know, having their skills be shown. And that's the most sad part about it. It's just the work and like passion of everyone kind of got wasted. Because it was a really good and interesting game and I enjoyed it. But a lot of very poor and short-sighted decisions and just not having much of a backbone really killed the game for the owners. It is unfortunate. But, you know, there'll be more games, there'll be more ASIMs, there'll be more Sonic EXE specific ASIMs, and perhaps one of them will be better and one of them will have better ownership, and perhaps something good will happen for Sonic EXE fans in a while. Because apparently the same thing happened with, like I said, the Friday Night Funkin' mod, and I don't know anything about that. I just remember seeing it, like, years ago when it happened, but I wasn't into Friday Night Funkin' that bad, and I did not give a shit about Sonic EXE around that time. But, yeah, it was quite a thing. Thigh slaps. Alright, Spenny, hold on. I have to pull my leg up for this one, and I have to pull my mic down. I do like all their characters, though. I'll still draw them. Regardless of how some of these EXE creators made themselves look like a jackass. I still will draw them. Because I still love the characters. Even if the game is dead, the characters still have, like, their interesting things. Here's your thigh slap. But... oh yeah, it does suck. Like, yeah, I feel bad about it. Like, I wasn't really involved in the community. Like, I only just started getting involved because, like I said, the creator of Starved Infernus actually asked me if I wanted to do official stuff for it. He's the owner, and he asked me if I ever wanted to draw official stuff for it, and I said, yeah, I would love to. I would love to do it. It'd be great. I'm kind of glad I didn't get too involved in it now, because I would not want to get wrapped up in all that drama. But I would still, like, you know, draw for them if they asked. Because Devilish still seems like a chill guy. A little reactionary, but a chill guy. But, like, right now, like, a lot of these creators are getting clowned on, especially the Sonic, since everyone has pretty much apologized here for their actions. I haven't seen Devilish's apology, but I know he's, like, a good guy. So I think Devilish is fine. I think Devilish is a chill guy. I'm still waiting to see what he said. His account got he privated his account, but he's a chill guy to me. I still like his characters, and he was nice to me for the short time we talked. So I'm willing to hear what he said. It was just I can understand why he said the things he did. I can understand being upset and like all the problems that came with, you know, the other person he was working with. I can fully understand cutting someone off like that. That's what I pretty much did with my D&D thing. So I completely understand where he's coming from. Joe Doughboy apologized, so like he apologized for like how he made it seem because he really worded his thing bad, so the normal EXEs are fine. Genesis has not said anything, and they've pretty much sold ownership of their character anyway, so they don't want to be associated with it at all, and they had like kind of a crash out about it, justifiably. I have not seen Raven really apologize yet at all. She's the owner of Faker, I believe. But I mean, she doesn't really need to. She would just kind of be like it was just kind of a dumb thing to say, and I don't really think she needs to apologize too much. But it'd be nice. In my opinion, I'm just spitballing here. Like, guys, I've only been in the community for like 5 months, and I've only just started learning who these people are and getting involved with them because I started drawing art for them and reading their stories and knowing them. But the creator of the new version of 2017 has not said anything, and people are just saying like, "Oh, you're a clown." Which I can't blame them when you make yourself look like such a... He very cringely talked like an RP villain in the chat. He very cringely talked like an RP villain in the group chat where they ganged up on the community manager. So people are not very nice, are not very accepting of his actions during it, which I can't blame you. And I will agree, and I will 100% say, yes, that was cringe, the way he talked to them. And Burra, you're a bad boy. You're a bad boy, Burra. Bad boy. Yeah, it was a 3v1 group chat. They kind of like brought him in, and they uploaded the video of like the chat, and everyone was like, "Did you really think this would make you look good?" And it was flinging back and forth. A lot of people were being a lot more harsh than they probably should have been. But it's over now. Everyone's apologized. Everyone's mostly, well, not everyone. Most people have apologized. The main people involved have forgiven each other. It's just the EXE creators who kind of like have their people's opinion of them have kind of soured for like a lot of the creators. A lot of the fans are just like, yeah, don't put anyone up on these pedestals. We're not gonna start just listening to these guys now just because they're the creators now, because they really showed their ass out in a sense, even if they apologized. Everyone's like, yeah, you showed your ass out regardless of an apology. And I can't really blame them. I would be tired too. I think the XC community is starting to slowly learn that you probably shouldn't put people on a pedestal. Honestly, looking into it, like from an outsider perspective and everything, this really did just feel like drama that I felt in the artist community. Like I've told you guys about the artist community, how people just put people up on pedestals. It's a bunch of miscommunication and then just lies and trying to like cancel and slander people the best you can. That's pretty much how it felt here. Like it was like I was looking at artist community drama, because this is what happened like in the community to like me a long while ago. So to me and other people I've seen in the artist community multiple times. So I was like, yeah, this is just artist drama. That's pretty much how it came off to me. Well, let me see something. Are we on the right game as well? I hope we're not on Into the Pit. Okay. Okay, let's draw. Let's draw a little Sleepy Sandy. Let's draw Sandy in sleepy clothes. My music stopped. Who just went over to my Fansly and purchased a subscription when I went live? Who did that? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them don't. I know in the VTuber community they do it as well, but it feels like they do it way less in the VTuber community. The VTuber community seems to be more critical of their friends than any other of the community I've seen. Because the XE community, they were definitely, from what I saw, 100%, if their friend was involved in it, they went to defend them, because that's pretty much why most people are upset with like the XE creators now. People saw that the owner of Faker, at least the new iteration of it, was involved in it, and they just went to defend them. And I was like, really? You're just coming here to defend him just because this is your friend and he makes, content for you? Just because he's in your clique? That's scummy. And artists do that a lot as well, like I've told you guys. But VTubers seem to be more willing to call out their friends, but I have seen them like do horrendous shit just because they were friends with another VTuber, and just justify that VTuber's action. But they're way more like open to criticizing them, so I feel like it's more safer for that reason alone. And true, it's mainly the femboy community. I remember like Shizu told me about it a while ago, but yeah, it's mainly the femboy community. Less of the VTubers in general, but mostly just femboy community. No, it's not really streamers as a whole. Yeah, I really only saw that with the femboy community, and I've seen other VTubers cancel their friends who pretend to be their friends for a long while for the same reasons. So I don't think it's really that true. They're definitely more willing to like, punish or like criticize their friends if they see them doing something wrong than any of the other communities I've been in. No, every community is cliquey. Like I said, the XC community is cliquey, the artists are cliquey. Every community is cliquey. The VTuber community and the streamer community is just way less than the other two. That was my point. They're way less. Which is why I hang out with VTubers way more than I do artists anymore. Except like my few artist friends like Rev and Powduri, yeah. Rev, Krishki, That one monkey VTuber girl who uses an AI generated model or art for her model. One of the two. Picky, who steals art from like my friends and me at one point, tried to. And even harassed like Pua. And those are the ones I mainly know that are like really, really bad. Oh, Powdery, yeah, Powdery I've heard not so great things about. Hello, Jigga Jet. Hello, hello. We're drawing some Sunny Slop. Your old account is banned. What did you do? How'd you get banned? What did you do? You clearly did something wrong. I don't know what it was. Bruh, let me tell you. I don't care if they're straightforward. The things they're straightforward about are horrible. Trump is straightforward, and that's bad. I don't want to have to specify this. I know you probably don't know them at all, but they are very bad people. Just scroll through their account. They are very bad people. You don't have to take long to find a tweet of like the horrible things they've been saying the last few days. That they've been saying horrible stuff for weeks, Rev. For weeks, bruh. Like, I say some dumb stuff and controversial things every once in a while. Not really. But, dude. Bruh, they are unacceptably bad with the things they've done and said. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it will always be such a mess. You're right. Artists and most other creators thrive in that shit. I do want to know. I'm so curious. Bro, they've said and done some horrible things, bro. You don't have to scroll through the account long enough to see the horrible things they've been saying, especially the last few days, bro. They are not, oh, they're just a little bit of a quirky little guys. They have done multiple horrible things, and look, trans rights are trans rights. I forgot the name of the phrase. Trans rights are real rights. I forgot the phrase. But yeah, the disrespecting people of a certain like class, racial, or sexuality is just objectively wrong. There's nothing here. Well, they are. Well, a lot of them are losing their sponsorships recently, especially like Rev. Rev has like lost a ton of his sponsorships. Trans rights, human rights. You're right. I'm so little stupid. I'm a little dumb sometimes. But yeah, Rev lost all of his sponsorships recently. He's losing a lot of them. Yeah, they do it a lot. I'm surprised you didn't see it. They do it a lot. Like, that is like their daily thing. Look, chat. Drama baiters are not fun, no matter what they are. They have no morals. Even if it wasn't anything, bad, you don't want to get involved with drama. Anyone who just makes attention off of just causing drama and stirring drama. It's not there. No matter how just it's inoffensive. It's never good. Never good. Don't ever. You stay up Twitter unless you're announcing a stream. To save yourself future embarrassment from more trigger-happy people, don't ever defend somebody if you don't know them, or try to rationalize them. I'm rational, and I hear the most controversial sides of any conversation because I like hearing the full information before going on ahead. But be careful when doing that with anybody else. You will be treated poorly by knee-jerk people. For your own safety and your own sense of being and what's the word? Can't remember. Yeah, don't get involved in things. My whole thing is if I don't understand it, I don't get involved. If I don't understand something, I do not get involved. If I don't understand like what's going on in a situation, I do not get involved at all. I will not voice my opinion. I will not talk about anything about it. The only reason it's like for now, like I wouldn't talk about the Sonic situation if I didn't have any frame of reference myself. If I don't understand something, I'm not talking about it. I'm not putting myself in a position to talk about things I don't understand. But if it's something basic, like just human rights, I'll talk about it. Hi Johnny, hello. You're welcome, Wi-Fi. I didn't really explain it too much, like, because I also just don't want to start getting into a whole conversation about that on stream. But I'll talk about the Sonic stuff. Huh? You guys have your fill from Twitter about that. We're here to have a relaxing stream. Oh yeah, the Evo 2020 shit. That was a mess. I don't get involved in drama, but I do read and I take my time to understand. No, it's fine. I don't even remember how we brought it up, honestly. It wasn't even you. I don't know who brought it up. I can't remember. I don't remember why we started talking about them. I think we were just talking about the VTuber community being nice, and I just and like the only controversial people I know are this and that. I think that's why we talked about it. But yeah, artist community is pretty much like this as well. Like even recently, artists are still getting called out and like caught for tracing AI art now, and are just using AI art, or just big artists just being like, oh, I don't have to do my commissions because I'm a big popular on Twitter, so I don't have to do anything even if you pay me. Yeah, YouTube drama is heartbreaking most of the time. What the fuck? Stupid window. Never put anyone on a pedestal. Yeah, Sky Does Minecraft was crazy. That whole thing was crazy. But yeah, just don't put people on a pedestal, bro. I always do this with my friends. Always temper your expectations and stop believing unrealistic things that'll only, you know, cause problems for you later. You can love things, you can enjoy things, but you don't have to put yourself in a situation. You never have to put yourself in a situation. There's no reason to ever put yourself in a situation. A lot of them don't listen, of course. They all just like, oh, I don't care, I want to believe. I'm like, yeah, sure, believe whatever you want, but don't fucking get upset and sad when that doesn't happen. Think clearly. You'll be more happier if your expectations are lower than you would be if you let your expectations stay high and unreasonable. I try to explain that to them multiple times. That like, fucking... It's so simple to just keep your expectations lower so that when something good happens, you're happier. You gain nothing from being extremely unreasonably expecting things and then it being right. You gain nothing from that. You could be happier if you just, you know, tempt your expectations, believe things that you can do and things that are reasonable so that you can continue to move forward and that you don't get stunlocked when something, you know, not great happens that's slightly off of what you were unreasonably thinking about. You could be way happier if you just don't believe crazy and ridiculous things. It's so easy to be like, you know, to not put yourself in a situation. I was about to say it's easy to be happy. It's not easy to be happy, but it's easy to not put yourself in a situation to hurt yourself. Of course, they don't listen, like I said, but it's not hard to not, you know, ruin yourself. If it's very easy to not hurt yourself, in a sense. You just have to be conscious of your decisions and your choices, which I know is hard for some people, but if someone is going out of the way like me to tell you that probably it's not a good idea, probably should listen to me. Probably should listen to them. Because like I can warn my friends, at least the few, multiple times about like how probably not good to do this, or probably not great for your health, or probably it's not great to excommunicate yourself from all your friends and get obsessed with streaming and leave yourself alone considering situations that you've gone through. And they'll still do it and say, no, it's fine, even though they know it's not fine. They know it never works out well, and then it won't work out well. There's a good chunk of my friends who just fucking hate me because I'm right all the time. And it's like, one of my friends, Lee, said, well, stop being wrong then if you hate Sandy being right all the time. It's like, it's not my fault that I'm very aware of who you are as a person. I know you so well, and I'm conscious of your well-being and I want better for you. It's not, there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing bad. You have a friend who knows you so well, who cares about you and tells you exactly that you doing this is very awful for you and it won't do anything good for you. But that's how it is. You live with the things and yeah, whatever. Like I said, I expect it at this point, so I'm not upset and disappointed. I'm just like, it is what it is. It happens, it happens. It gets better, it gets better. If it don't, it don't. You move on to the next thing and you see what you could do for that. Situations past. Then you're not tempering it enough, bruh. You need to temper yourself more. I love the freedom. You know, there's a version of this Freedom Motif remix that someone put into Bergen Truckin', but they never made a full version of the song. I usually downplay my smart. No one likes to be heard that I'm smart all the time. Even then, I don't really like to think of myself as smart. I just know I'm somewhat aware of things. Like, I don't know everything, but I learn pretty well. I don't ever want to feel like I'm smart. There's always more I feel like I can learn. I mean, I constantly ask you guys things, like, especially when it came to, like, my whole D&D situation, when it comes to, like, the way, like, I felt like I was treating my players and etc. blah blah. I asked you guys and I showed you and I explained to you the situations and I told you from their point of view to, like, make sure that I wasn't just being somehow completely wrong and I was being a jackass to my players in some sort of way. Just so I can get a full view on the situation. Because my players say, like, horrible things about me, like you guys know. Like I've already told you. And, like, I asked you guys if there was any justification to this. I, like, ask you, I ask other DMs, I show other players, I show other people. And I don't, like, paraphrase their messages. I show the full DMs. I show, like, the full DMs and I explain it, etc. blah blah. And you know what? and you know what have you. I make sure everyone gets a full fair side so I can properly judge a situation, despite how quote unquote super villain I am that these crazy people like to try to paint me as. But I thank you for the head pat. I wish I could find the Burger Truckin' version of this song. That was so good. But they never made a full version of it. Yeah, D&D consistently leads to drama. Think of everything that could go wrong in a D&D campaign. That's pretty much what happened to mine. Like, everything that's possible to happen in my games, guys, that could have gone wrong, like players not reading, players making themselves the main characters, players getting pissy over their characters not getting enough attention, players causing their own problems, players being mean and attacking and harassing other players, players complaining about feeling weak and underpowered, players complaining about NPC characters, players trying to make plans with each other and that falling through, players trying to write their backstory and not letting it be done properly, or like being very controlling of their character's backstory. Every single one of those things, every single one of those things that you think could bad that could happen in a D&D campaign, that was literally every single one of my players. That's what they all did. That is the entirety of my D&D player campaign. They did every single one of those. That is essentially how my D&D campaign went. I had every bad thing that could have possibly happened because my players happened. Because my players were very inexperienced with D&D, and eventually, despite me saying I'm learning, they end up making their own rules and their own thought on how D&D goes. And it kind of just poisoned the well of like how we're supposed to doing. Oh well, I mean they're all gone now. Yeah, I showered. I smell like nice oils. But yeah, they all left. Like all those bad players. Like I lost like 8 of them. So like the 2 players who were the cause of most of it, that caused 8 of those people to leave, are gone now for my campaigns. I even asked like one if they were dropping, and she like had a whole crash out where I couldn't really understand what she was talking about. It was very bad. She was the main one that caused most of the players to harass me and shit talk my games for like the last 7 years. I don't smell. You stink. You smell like a rat. Yeah, I've heard that too. One of my friends plays Exalted. Maid dress? I should make a maid dress model. You're right. I should do that. Well, I mean, I'm used to putting up with bullshit. I mean, you guys have heard me complain about my players, and you hear me complain about my friends, and I still love them. Despite how horrible they may end up treating me according to other people. Dude, I even had like one player who joined a Pokemon campaign that I ran, and he didn't know anything about Pokemon, and I never found out until like we were like 3 seasons into the campaign, essentially. And he was just like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about Pokemon, because I was like, how are you losing to a Zubat? Haven't you ever played Pokemon before? He's like, no, I've never done it before. I'm like, what? He was trying to like make himself a scientist and a professor in the world of Pokemon, and he didn't do the bare basic research. So pretty much he was trying to make his character established in like the world of Pokemon, like an actual established person and a researcher / professor. It's like he wanted to make himself notable in the world of Pokemon. He did not want, like he straight up said, I don't have to do research on the world to do this. That's not my responsibility. I'm like, you're a player and you're writing your character as integral to the world. You should at the very least read up on the world to write your character properly if you want it to be like that so bad. You can't expect us as a GM to do everything for you. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to do everything for you and write your character for you. That's your backstory. You write your backstory yourself. It was just a 5e Pokemon campaign that I got from like a rulebook that I made. It wasn't really called anything. I mean, I work in customer service. I owe everyone the same type of patience. I have to be patient with my commissioners. I have to be patient with my subscribers. I have to be patient. Well, I had to be patient when I was a banker with the tellers because I mainly worked with old people. So patience is just something you need to have. Yeah, it was just a 5e thing. Pokemon never made an official one. I don't think they ever will. It was way better anyways. You could just find it online. It's so easy to find the Pokemon tabletop rule set for D&D. But yeah, he didn't know anything. And my players, so chat members, those of you who do play tabletop RPGs, let me ask you something. Is it normal to have to read and take notes? Like, have the handbook ready just so you could read the rules or check something and take notes so that you remember what happened so you can, you know, do it later? Is that a normal thing you're supposed to do? Like, the players should be used to taking notes, reading the handbook, and having that by hand? And these handbooks, like, they're like around 100 pages, right? Like, these handbooks are like around 100 pages, like, you know, have by your side just to read and search up to look things for, right? That's normal, right? Around like around 100 pages, like everything to explain. Like, that's normal, like, have that to look back and read it, right? Longer usually. So, let me tell you something. Do you realize my fucking players, chat, they fucking hated reading and complained about it repeatedly for weeks. I had so many of them complaining, be like, oh, there's too much to read. My document, let me check the pages for like my handmade document. Yeah, just relevant shit. You just go there to check the relevant stuff, as you should. You have a table of contents. Yeah, my document for like my homebrew campaign, for like my sci-fi one I told you guys about, is 175 pages. Majority of those pages are just races. So those don't matter. Let me scroll past the races. Let me just scroll past all the races. And just scroll past all the races. So yeah, my book is actually like 125 pages long because the races are just 52 pages because they just have like all the skills you get for your racial traits and just a short description of the race and a giant picture. So it's not even a full page. They could not be asked to read it. They not asked, just asked, you know, asked. They couldn't be asked to read it. They just complained all the time. They whined about it. They said it's too much to read it. 125 pages, too much to check it. There was a table. This is programmed on Homebrewery, you know, the old website. There were literal buttons at the top of the screen to let you click to go look at your class and check those, or your racial traits to check those. Or to check like the sections or whatever have you. They're like, oh, it's too much to read and I shouldn't have that by the side. I'm like, I have it by the side to check everything for you guys on your own. The least you guys could do is just do it yourself and keep your things open for just your class and your race open on your own. The least you could do is keep 5 out of the 100 pages on your own. Let me know if you need players. It was constantly that, like, they're like, oh, we don't have to read the world lore. We don't have to read the handout on how our classes work to understand them. We don't have to read the item sheet to understand how the item works. You should just tell us every single time. We don't have to check this all the time to get our skills ready. It's so long. The skills are so complicated. The skills are like, hold on, let me just screenshot a section of like one of the class skills. Like one of the pages that aren't broken. Here's how big it was. So like I obviously ad-libbed it because I was very well aware that these guys don't read. Here's like one of the custom class lists. This is how long they were for these skills. As you can see, they were separated by level and explained. I made all of this up, by the way. This is all homebrewed. I made all this. I made this all by hand. This was too much to read. This person with this class did not finish their sheet in the span of 7 years. It was like 7 or 4 years, and they never finished their sheet. And because they were, so like for example, hold on. I made soul voices from Xenoblade Chronicles X as a specialty for like this class, and I gave them a very limited like section of it. Obviously, this was the soul voices. Now that looks like a lot, right? It looks very complicated. I explained to them what it is. Essentially, at level 1, you choose only 3 of them. I said, just you choose only 3 of them, and you could switch them out whenever. You're not tied to this. Like you don't choose these and you're stuck with them forever. I said you could choose them whenever you want and switch them out whenever you want between fights or between sessions, whenever you want. So just choose whichever 3 you fucking feel like and switch them out whenever you want. You choose one of these and you choose a color. The color corresponds to letter. Red is A, yellow is B, blue is C, and that's the same for everyone. It's pretty much in order. Top to bottom, A, B, C. And that's how you choose it, pretty much. And it tells you to trigger it. You know, red is attacking, melee attack. Yellow is range attack, and blue are spells. Simple. It's very simple. It was color coded. Very simple. You write it down. You keep it there. And if you want to switch it out whenever you want, you do it later. You don't have to do everything in one session to like have your whole set out for like the entirety of the campaign. You choose 3 for the day, and you're done. You have a whole week or the whole whenever time we play again to think if you want to change it. You're not stuck to it. The entire party was crippled for 3 years because the player who had this class would not do it. They could not decide. They were unable to decide on what to do for 3 years, and the whole party consistently came to me with complaints about how they felt weak, and I said, well, the player character who is supposed to give you all these buffs of like all these things like, oh, ×2 damage, invincibility, healing, and all this other stuff, has never finished their sheet in 3 years. So the support part of your team has been doing absolutely nothing, which is why you feel weak. Your healer has done nothing for 3 years. 3 years they could not finish their sheet, like actually for 3 years. And I was getting complaints, and I was getting like shat on because they're like, oh, we feel so weak and inadequate. And I'm like, it's not my fault. It's because of your party. D&D is a group effort. One of your party members isn't pulling weight, and I can't really do much about it. Eventually, I literally just took this special skill. So like I took the soul voice ability away from that person because it was exclusive to that class, but given how inept they were, I learned to do it. I pretty much just said, all right, everybody can use the soul voice now. It's no longer exclusive to this class. Everyone can use it now. It's just that everyone only gets 3 soul voices while that class can get up to like 20 at a time while they level up, because they weren't ever going to use it or ever finish it. So I just took it away because it was 5 years and they never finished the sheet. And I would ask them repeatedly, hey, are you going to work it out? I offered, I didn't leave them to do it on their own. I offered, hey, I can help you do it. They never took me up on the offer. Yeah, my players refused to read. They complained when I wrote the world building of my world, like as of recently, like the lore I've been reading to you guys and Let Puff Enjoys. They complained about the laws. They complained about the sigil. They complained about the world lore. And they were just like, oh, this is ChatGPT generated. We've had this document for like 5 years at this point. All this was written in the document. And a lot of it was tied to other characters' backstories. And because they don't... So my players have this thing which you all probably shouldn't do. If they don't care about a character or an NPC or another player, they just don't pay attention to them at all and don't care about their story as a party or as a group. They don't pay attention to other players. Only they pay attention to themselves. So one player accused me of ChatGPT generating one of the handouts that explained all the laws in the sci-fi world where this, handout comes from. And I explained to him, each one of these laws corresponds to another player character who plays with us in our game. The campaign centered around everyone being arrested and being in prison. And I said all these laws corresponded to a reason why each one of those players were jailed. You claiming that this is ChatGPT generated just tells me you never have ever paid attention to another player character and have only been looking at your own OC and no one else's story. to accuse that it's ChatGPT generated because it has nothing to do with you. And you assume that it's going to be your problem. When in fact, it has to do with the other 8 players in this campaign who are playing with you. And not just yourself. Kid talk about for a hungry team. They don't really like to read it from what I've noticed. They complain about it a lot. They complain that they shouldn't have to do it. And a lot of them complain like, oh, we're busy. And let me just tell you right now, these guys don't fucking have jobs. A lot of these guys don't have jobs. I had a job, and I was doing D&D, and I was also doing streaming, and I was also doing commissions, and I was also cooking, and I was also cleaning, and I was also doing my own laundry, and I was also taking care of my dog, and I was also writing and making the D&D sessions, and running 2 campaigns. And I had time to read and do it. These guys, majority of them don't have a job. Majority of them only do one thing. Majority of them don't have any responsibilities. And they complain about saying they don't have time to read. And I'm like, you're lying to me. There's a lot of bull you're telling me right now. Yeah, they were just so lazy to do anything. They were so lazy, they would encourage each other to be very toxic towards me and defend their bad habits, despite me saying, like, you guys shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. This is inappropriate. You shouldn't be treating people this way, etc. Blah, blah, blah. But they didn't care. Essentially, yeah, they were just like, oh, we don't give a fuck. I'm like, you guys have a lot of time. You can make time. You're just very, very bad at organizing yourselves. And that's not my fault. Just because you're bad at organizing yourself doesn't mean it's my fault. You just have to learn how to organize yourselves better. If I can work a job, if I can cook, if I can do commissions, if I can stream, if I can, do all this stuff and still have time to run the sessions, write everything, and read your backstories and write all your stories for you, and also check during the sessions for all your things, you guys can at the very least do it yourself. You don't need me to do it. If I can do all this, you guys can do the bare minimum for yourself. But they didn't want to. They just didn't want to. They have like a very, very, like you said, very poor hand-holding perception on D&Ds and how they're run. Because this was our, like, we did D&D and we were learning how to play it together. And instead of waiting to learn how it was done properly, they just assumed it was done this way and it was wrong. When you discovered about the femboy? I don't know when I discovered about being femboys, actually. It's been a while. Probably when I graduated high school. And then I was like, I like being cute. Obviously, I saw them, but I never knew they were femboys. Essentially, yeah, they were just like, oh, you need to tell me everything, explain everything to me. Like, one of the players would constantly ask me metagame questions, and I'd be like, I'm not supposed to tell you that. It's like, yes, you are. You're a DM, you're supposed to explain everything to me. Like, no. If your character shouldn't know that, I'm not supposed to explain anything to you. I can't tell you. You have to know these things. Like, I'd only tell the players things if, while being a TDR check. Yeah, I've seen, like, a lot of GMs and a lot of people do so much other stuff that are more complicated than these guys have ever done in their life. Like, I've seen, like, a lot of players, and, like, even Sherry does way more, and is running, like, a whole he's setting up, like, 24/7 D&D campaign with everything he does. And these guys can't be asked to do a simple thing and cook food at the same time. They can't be asked to, like, play a campaign and read and then cook later. They can't be asked to set up their life to organize properly to even do something as simple as that. It's crazy. And then they complain and blame me. I'm like, it's not my fault. You guys are horrible with how you manage your lives. It's not my fault, and you shouldn't be yelling at me for it. This has nothing to do with me.
I can hardly believe my eyes.
Cryo, hello, Cryo, hello, 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 Cryo, hello. I'm just complaining like how my players. Cry, you've seen a decent bit of my lore, but yeah, a lot of I was telling everyone like, oh yeah, my players just hated reading in my D&D campaign. They hated taking notes and they hated reading, so they basically didn't like playing D&D normally, and they made it my problem. They saying it was my fault. They're like, oh, we can't be bothered to read 125 pages. You don't have to. It's a table of contents. They're very lazy. Players are very lazy. They're very rude, and they just didn't know how to play D&D normally, and they blamed me for it. Crazy, crazy series of events, chat. You free ball, but you love RP. I'd have free balling too. But like, I'm not gonna yell at the DM and say, oh, it's your fault for not reading everything to me by hand all the time. Like, if I'm free balling, I'm not gonna blame the GM. Hello, Reviver. Hello. Like, if I know I'm playing a character and I know I'm not paying attention, I'm not gonna make it the GM's problem and say, oh, you're doing something wrong. It's like, I chose to do it. Back crowd, you remember the story of me talking about a player who joined a Pokemon campaign and never knew anything about Pokemon and wanted to write their character as a professor in the world of Pokemon, yet knew nothing about the world of Pokemon, and I said you have to look up what the world of Pokemon is and, you know, write your story, your backstory properly. Yeah, it was crazy. And his excuse was like, I shouldn't have to read the story or understand the world to write my character, and it's like, that is the bare minimum of D&D. I don't know where they've gotten these, I don't know where they got these very twisted and made up rules on how D&D is ran. I don't know where they got all this incredibly wrong, horribly off base, and just completely incorrect information on how D&D is done and how you play your characters and how you write them. But it's forever poisoned the way they even try to play games. On their base level, they do not understand D&D and how it works for some reason. Oh boy. Mine was horrible, as you know. I was very patient. I wasn't even mad. I was just speechless when that happened. Like, I was just so thrown off guard that someone would join a campaign of nothing they understood. I was just so confused. I'm like, why would you join a Pokemon campaign and try to write your character as a professor? We played that campaign for like a whole year. That person, by the way, never ever figured out what to make their character research as a professor. They never ever could think of a single thing. Anything they tried to do, they tried to steal from another NPC that was actually already a professor in Pokemon. I said, no. Here's a list of what professors research. Make something like this or something similar. And you could do anything. Like, one of my friends was like, oh, I'm going to be a researcher of Gardevoirs. And I'm like, yeah, that's a research field you can do. You can focus your entire research around the Pokemon Gardevoir. You should, Cryo. It'd be funny. I was like, you could do something as basic as this, but he couldn't think he couldn't think of a single thing. He could not think of a single thing, chat, for like an entire year. He could not think of a single thing. He's never thought of a thing for his character to research, ever. And it's like, it's embarrassing. It's like, you can't do this most basic thing. Like, you can't write. If you can't write, you can't play D&D. If you can't read, you shouldn't play D&D. If you refuse to read, you shouldn't play D&D. If you can't focus at all, you shouldn't be playing D&D. It's a game that requires, you know, thinking and processes if you actually want to make your character do things. Yeah, you could do that too. You could do that too. Pokemon research was so... Pokemon research, you could do anything. May have stolen a Porygon? What the? Insanity. And it was like, yeah, they refused to do the most basic things. They didn't want to research anything to write their characters properly. They didn't want to, you know, have anything done with their backstory that they didn't approve of. So it's like, there's no point in like you having a backstory if I can't, as a GM, work with it. Hi Wyatt. They didn't want to, like, you know, do anything that actually was required to make characters work. And they hated having consequences for their characters doing dumb things. Heck, a lot of them didn't even read the basic rules. Like, when it came to, like, the turn economy, a lot of them just kept breaking the turn economy rules all the time. And when I tried enforcing it way more, they started complaining. It's like, you've been doing it wrong, and it makes it hard to balance if you guys keep cheating on the turn economy, and I can't do anything as a GM. I can't let you guys just cheat the turn economy all the time. Bye, bruh. Bye. I use 5e for everything. Cry, they're too dumb to use anything else, unironically. I don't think there's ever a point to teach them any other system. They don't know anything. Like, everything was 5e base. Thank you, bruh. Yeah, they didn't know anything. I still have the handbook for my Pokemon thing as well. I mean, I have a Pokemon system. We played the whole thing. I ran it. I have the system. I have a Pokedex. I have like an online Pokedex that uses that system. I have a move dex handout so that we can see all the moves. I have all of them. I have the entire like generations from 1 to 6 written here, and all their stats and what they gain and all their level up move skills. Everything here. I have classes for Pokemon. I have custom classes for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon characters. Custom classes for Pokemon Rangers, custom classes for Pokemon Photographers. I got Pokemon on top of Pokemon. You want to be a Pokemon Ranger? I got a class here for you. You want to be a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon character? I have the literal fucking Q&A question here for you. At least a new one, because the old one I used is gone. I have a class for it too. You want to do Pokemon Snap the whole game? I have a whole class for that. Yeah, they would break the turn economy all the time by doing bullshit like, oh, I'm holding my bonus action, so I'm going to use it as a reaction during this turn. I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't do that. That's not how it works. You can't hold your bonus action and use it later like that. That's not how it works. You're breaking the turn economy. You can't hold your extra attack to use later. Holding an action takes up a whole turn. Otherwise, the turn economy is broken as shit. Yeah, those are separate acts. I literally had to bring up the literal... One of the players got super fucking pissed at me constantly pulling up the, you know, the D&D turn economy rule thing. And he's like, oh, I've been reading it. I've been doing it. Like, you haven't read it right for months. You consistently break this every time we play. So you haven't been doing it. Every time I ask you to read it to stop doing it, you say, okay, I'll read it. And then you play a game and you just break it immediately. And he's like, oh, well, I haven't been doing it because we don't seem to follow the rules anyway. It's like, because you keep breaking it every time. Every time I tell you to follow it, you immediately read it, quote unquote, and then break it. You don't know anything about the turn economy. Yeah, I would love to do a DM stream. Nah, those players are gone. I would never stream with them. I've told them so many times that they're too embarrassing to put on stream. And some of my players, like, literally even try to threaten me with copyright if I ever tried to stream our games, which is ridiculous, yes. And they have no grounds, yes. But they still try to do it. Very rude, yes, very rude that my friends would threaten me with copyright laws if I streamed our game. No, I haven't done Pathfinder. I've only played with this bad group, Cryo. I've never played with really any other group, really, for any long period of time. Yeah, a lot of people say they don't. Yeah, I know. I mean, I literally, like, look, Cryo, truthfully, I literally had to hide the messages in my server when I invited you, so you didn't see that one of them said that. But even then, the other one literally came into the server, like, 2 days ago, and added everybody, and they said, you're not allowed to use my character's copyright. We haven't used her characters in, like, the last 5 years. They're just, like, constantly trying to stir up and start shit for some reason, because they're very socially inept. It's crazy. I know, it's crazy. It's like I constantly say to them, I don't want to stream these games, and like I never will now because they're gone. But I was like, you guys are too embarrassing to pull up on stream. You're embarrassing. I don't want you on my stream. You're embarrassing. I don't want you there. There was like, oh, you're not allowed to stream our games. Like, I don't want to. You're embarrassing to me. They are. A lot of them are actually like a little bit crazy. They're very they're very bad like emotional and mental states. And I understand why they do, but it's still very embarrassing and horrible the way they treat people sometimes. It's really just crazy. Cause like, oh, you're not allowed to make money off of any of my characters. I'm like, I haven't been making money off your characters at all. Like, no one's been making money. This is a private thing between friends. Why are you talking about money? Why are you threatening your friends with copyright? This is a private game between friends. True, I justify that way too much, but yeah, it doesn't justify it. Yeah, you're completely right, Cryo. I'm too nice. Petite and Waffle have consistently told me to like, yeah, not do that. I think like Waffle especially, if these guys didn't leave when they did, it would that Waffle really like told me like, oh, you need to stop DMing for them and just ditch them, which he was completely right to do. So multiple people have told me to leave them and stop DMing for them, and I've told the players this, that people have said this because the way they've been acting and treating me. From like me like talking to people and venting my frustrations and asking what I should do, and instead of being like, oh, we'll be better, we're sorry we did this, it's like, oh, they're not in here, so they don't understand. And it's like, there's nothing to understand. You guys aren't complicated. You're very simple, just rude people a lot. You guys aren't complex people. You're just very rude at times, and it hurt. It hurt when you guys are just rude and mean. But I tolerate it for the most part. I don't think I tweeted out stream. I didn't tweet out stream my thirst trap, guys. I'm so stupid. I need to tweet out my stream on my thirst traps. There we go. Whoa. I would love to play in other campaigns as well though, but yeah, I am still busy trying to finish the ones that they left me with. Because even though all the toxic players left, I still have like 3 good players who I want to finish their things for. I want to finish their stories. Because like I'm also like letting Sherry join and play like a separate thing on their own, and Fua as well. Like in the world, just so I can push it forward and end the stories of those worlds. But I know everyone feels bad whenever I talk about my D&D stories and how cool and toxic my players were. Like, they harassed a lot of people to wanting to leave. They bullied one of my friends out of the game and just shouted him consistently. And then when he left and I played his character to, like, you know, end his story, they instead switched over to me and bullied him. And bullied me instead. I'm like, these guys are very mentally unwell. There was a part where we spent like 10 years, like not 10 years. Yeah, it's bullying. Despite what they may say, it was really bullying the way they bullied him, and they just made him leave. Like, so like for example, to explain why they bullied his character. So in the start of my sci-fi campaign, we had criminals and we had, you know, normal people like police officers and nurses or whatever. One of the criminals, like the first session was breaking out of the prison and taking, you know, the normal people with them as like hostages or whatever, and they would eventually become friends. Because, you know, eventually they would learn that, you know, we're all being treated poorly anyways, we should work together just to get out of here and live our life, whatever. So they kidnapped the doctor, and the police officer ended up becoming a fugitive as well, so he came with them anyways. And what had happened was, when one of the criminals was trying to get the code to break out, they had her tied up, obviously, and she wasn't giving it. So his, you know, second personality took over because he was like an alien who had like 2 personalities as like a symbiote on his body. And the symbiote was getting mad and took over the body and struck her. He punched her, the hostage, which, you know, Gee, are you really guys? Well, our chat members, are you really surprised that the villain criminal character from the villain criminal group punched their hostage? Not really. Like a few of the criminals were like, "Oh, that's a little bit too far. We probably don't need to hit her." But a lot of people took that and ran with it and just like shouted him forever. They just bullied him. They harassed him. They were mean to him. And it's like, dude, you guys aren't friends with this person. A lot of you are criminals, and you're acting like you've known her for years. Like a lot of them who were friends with the girl in real life just started harassing them, even though their characters were on complete different sides of like the spectrum. Like you had literal criminals who don't know her character at all, being completely on her side and shitting on this guy, who is the main reason they got out in the first place and got their identities, erased and kept. And just shitting on him because IRL, those two players were friends. So instead of playing their characters properly and, appropriately and, being the two sides of the situation, they just kept shitting on this one person all over and over, to the point where after like the first like area of the game, he quit the campaign. He was like, I don't want to play anymore. And I couldn't blame him because they just kept shitting on him relentlessly. They shot on him, they yelled at him, they were addicted to him, and rude to him whenever he opened his mouth, and just like gave him knives in his eyes. And pretty much they excommunicated him from ever talking as his character. And he just didn't want to play anymore, so he left. And like he told me he was getting tired of the way they were treating him too, and like he just left. And I can't blame him. If you get excommunicated that badly because of girls club nonsense, yeah, I'd leave too. It was a really bad thing, and when I played his character, they just moved on to shitting on me instead and being mean to me. Yeah, for a year. Yeah, as soon as he left, I played his character to continue finishing his story because he asked me to. Like, cause even to today, he still asks me about his character. It's been like 4 years, and he still asks me about them. It's like he still cares about his character and wants to hear what's going on with it. And while I was playing his character, they turned all the negativity they were shitting on him towards me instead. So they shot on me, they yelled at me, they treated me badly. And even one of the players who left, she was like, "Oh, just make him fucking go away. I hate him. Nobody fucking likes him." It's like, you guys have like gotten reasonably angry at this person who left so early on because of how rude you were to him, all because he's second personality punched a girl that was not on your team, was not someone you guys knew as players, but just because you knew her IRL, and because it made her cry a little bit because she is very mentally unwell. And this person doesn't know anything about that. And you harassed the fuck out of him to where he left. And now you're just saying like, "Oh, get him the fuck out of here. Nobody fucking likes him. Get him out of here. Get the character out of here. No one likes that character." Like, while I was playing it. And I'm like, you guys are just horrible people. You're horrible people. It was really, really bad. Like the how visceral they were about it. Like in my DMs when that one player who left, and she was like, "Oh, just get rid of him. Nobody fucking likes him." This player, the girl who got punched, hates him so much. It's like, because she's crazy. She's very clearly crazy and caused him and harassed him to the point where he left. Because like they just started shitting on me and treating me poorly. And when I said like, you guys are just shitting on me when I'm playing the character instead, their excuse was like, "Oh, then just get rid of him then." I'm like, no, he's integral to the party. You need him. He's really good and useful. He's like another half of the story you guys kind of need, and I just ended up getting rid of him because they were being so mean to me. Like, there was a time where they like got so mad and like, "Oh, he has no right to spy on us and look at us. How dare you do that?" You made his room the surveillance room of the ship. When they first got the ship, they picked out everyone's rooms. They let him sleep in the surveillance room. He was in another room. They kicked him out to the surveillance room. And they're like, "Oh, he's been spying on us." You left him in the surveillance room. His job is surveillance. He's supposed to survey the ship to make sure no one's breaking onto the ship. Like, they were actually that insane and crazy. It's like, what do you mean he's been spying on us? He lives in the surveillance room. That's his bedroom. That's where you kicked him out to. You kicked him kicked him out of most of the rooms of the ship. And you wouldn't even let him have a room next to yours. You kicked him out to the surveillance room. And instead of like defending it and seeing like you guys are being crazy, all the other players took her side. And they just said, "Yeah, we'll just kick him out of his room for no reason." And it's like, you guys are crazy. Like, they were actually insane fucking people. spread those sheets like I spread my legs. Yeah, it was insane. They did shit like that. Yeah, Cryo, it was crazy. They kicked him out of his room. He went to the surveillance room because that's his new room and the only other place available on the ship. They crashed out and kicked him back to the original room because they were like, what do you mean he's been spying on us? He lives in the little room called the surveillance room of the ship because these guys are such fucking idiots. They didn't read anything when it came to the ship and the rooms that were on the ship. Spreading my legs is good, Cryo. You have to exercise. But it was literally insane. Literally insane. These guys are actually fucking crazy, chat. They harassed him. The moment he left, they harassed me instead. And it was just like, you guys are... They're bad. They have very awful things like that sometimes, yes. My quote-unquote friends are very toxic, controversial, and bad, yes. I would admit that. Honestly, I am just glad that they're not playing the games with me anymore, because with how horrid their mental state was, I don't think there was any way of them getting better. They were obsessed with D&D. Well, yeah. A lot of people said so. Like that. Anytime I tell these stories, everyone's like, "Are they really your friends?" And whenever I tell my friends this, and they're like, "Oh, it doesn't seem very. No one really thinks you're my friend with the way you guys act." And they're like, they don't understand our friendship. It's like, you guys making me feel like shit. What do you mean they don't understand? Even I'm questioning this because you guys make me feel like shit. And I don't know how they don't understand when I'm questioning it too, and I'm asking you guys. If I'm asking and I'm like, I don't see how you guys are being nice to me, and your excuse is they don't understand our friendship when I'm really questioning it, I don't understand. They're very just tone deaf. It's the worst part. Like, a lot of them are just like very, very tone deaf and just very just inconsiderate of other people. They're not very aware of other people's feelings and emotions. They're very unempathetic and have very, very poor social skills. So it's like, I don't know if I can really attribute most of it to malice. It feels most of it like just, you know, very, 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 very insanely poor social skills due to their upbringing, which, yes, still doesn't justify the way they treat people, but I use it as a crutch to be like, oh, like, look, they may be assholes, but you know. Hi, Axie. Hello. Yeah, I'm over empathetic too. That's why I let them get away with it for so long. Yeah, that's the main reason, Cryo, that I didn't want to play D&D with most people. Because I was like, oh, what if my friends who were completely fine before we played D&D just start... My new friends who I bring in start doing the same thing where they just randomly start getting really toxic and obsessive over their characters and start harassing me and start thinking horribly of me and talking about behind my back every time I leave the session. Because that's what one of the players did. Every time I left, she would shit talk me and just speak badly of how my games were ran, and then would come in my DMs and say and be very nice to me. She's very two-faced and caused a lot of people to leave because they were tired of hearing her complain, or they quote-unquote felt bad for her and didn't want to play with me. I won't mind you. Yeah, it stressed out a lot of my friends, which made them not want to play with me. Because like I said, those two players did cause 8 people to leave my campaign. 4 of them who I don't talk to anymore, and 4 who I still do talk to. So I was like, oh, I'm worried. What if I play with Fool and he gets really mad at me? What if I play with Shiri and he gets really mad at me? That's why I'm afraid to GM. Yeah, no, it was horrible. I let that happen. I agree that even though they were like the ones who did it, I'm the one who's really at fault for, like, you know, allowing them to do so for as long as I did. And like, it took me this long by the time everyone pretty much was already gone to like say like, hey, are you dropping? And for that one player to have it crash out and lose their mind, and then me just be like, all right, you're dropping, you're gone. Because like I just said with Cryo, like I invited Cryo and like a few other of my new friends to my server to play D&D or just read my lore with me now to like, fill up the spots. And I obviously, did the my D&D is like a private group chat. So obviously the most appropriate thing to do in a private group chat would be to hide the chats of the previous members, right? And keep their privacy intact, right? That makes the most logical sense to hide the previous messages of like personal and just, friend group 1 shit away from friend group 2, right? It makes very, very good sense to just hide those chats and make sure that the new people don't see it and they don't, see what's, very obviously personal things to people, right? That is the most obvious and the most sensible thing that anyone could do, right? Yeah, either hide it or leave it. I hid the chats. One of the girls, because I hid the chats after the girl left and she made her whole copyright speech. The girl's other sister, who made a speech about a year ago already about the same exact thing, saw that I hid all the chats and very obviously could tell that there were new people in the server. She pinged everybody in the whole server. Luckily, at everyone pings, I think, were turned off, so cry when no one else got pinged. And pinged everyone and said, you guys have no right to use my characters. You guys have no right to mess with our stories. The copyright law says you guys can't do anything with my characters. Pretty much, here's a bunch of embarrassing information about me. Please don't bully me. And I'm like, why? I didn't bother confronting them. I just don't know why. Because they were like, oh, why was my message removed? It's like, this to not embarrass you. You're literally showing embarrassing private things in front of people by adding everyone in the server to let them see this embarrassing private thing of yourself. This does not make you look appealing. This makes you look crazy. This makes you guys look irrational. That I hid something that was private, and you tried to ping everyone in the server, and they spammed it in every other chat afterwards. They spammed the message in every single chat in hopes that it just doesn't get removed. I'm like, this is not the point. I didn't eat them out of the server yet. I told one of my friends was like, just delete the message and just whatever, just deal with it. They're acting childish, just delete their message. And I said no, so I just pushed the message up in the chat. I hid all the other chats and just left the rest for everyone else to see. But if they continue to do it again, I will just ban them from the server. Yes, essentially. They were like, oh, I don't understand why my message is not here anymore, but I'm going to push my messages back in here and post it here and spam it in all these other chats. And it's like, if you looked at the chats, if you paid attention to anything that was happening in the chat that you haven't talked in a whole year, you probably would have known why everything's hidden. You haven't been here in a whole year. You don't know what's happening. Don't add everyone and spam your embarrassing message in front of everybody. That's so embarrassing. Because, like, I'm tolerant of the way they act, of course, but I can't say the same for the new people I brought in, and I'm not going to say they aren't justified in reacting negatively to her message. Like, if any of you, like, reacted negatively to, like, those guys' messages, I wouldn't blame you guys, and I wouldn't defend them either, because I'm like, yes, it's wrong. They shouldn't do that. It's wrong. They shouldn't be threatening their friends with copyright. They shouldn't be saying such, crazy things and embarrassing themselves in front of people. They shouldn't do those things. But they did it anyways, so I just left the message there. Whatever happens to them, happens to them. Not my fault. But yeah, if they start bothering and harassing people in the server, I will just kick them out. Or if they post that message again, I will just kick them. It sucks because, they are friends, but if my friends are going to act in such an embarrassing and toxic way, I might as well just get rid of them. Hi, Joggy. No, I'm just talking about D&D stuff. I'm just yapping while we draw. It's not how copyright works. Because, to put in full example, I'll read the copyright message just a little bit. Yes, they are my friends, despite how it sounds. Despite how ridiculous their messages sound. So, like, here's what they tried to do. I need to clearly state my position regarding all my characters. All characters and lands I had named. Ethereal, which not really hers. It's mine. She just gave me a name and it had no importance to me. It was just a word. It's still not hers. She created and remains her personal intellectual property. She's not granted permission for continued use in any form, whether D&D or otherwise, or anywhere else. This includes the names and likenesses, stories, lore, and NPCs of children created by me, as well as alternate versions referenced by them, any artwork related to them, and any artwork relating to them. I've been developing these characters and stories for 25 years. I want them to continue using in them, hoping in them using. I intend to continue using them in my own writing and other projects. But yeah, she's like, I don't give you. They're my characters. I do not grant permission, copyright, etc. Blah blah. It's like, I don't think that's how that works. And as much as she likes to pretend, Ethereal is not hers. That's mine. And apparently, at least 24 years old, from what I can tell from this message. But yeah, she was like, oh no, these are mine. You can't use any likenesses or anything like that. I'm like, no. Yeah, pretty much. One of my closest friends for about 10 years, chat, by the way. Yeah, it's hardly a commercial purpose. And the rest of them were being like, oh, you can't stream or do anything. You're not allowed for any monetization, streaming, or whatever. I'm like, well, how popular do you think our streaming is? Best friend of 10 years threatening me with copyright, by the way. And acting like it's no big deal. All because I wouldn't let her talk to a blue-haired anime character for an hour, by the way. This is where most of it stems from. Wouldn't let her talk to a blue-haired anime character for an hour. Like, I am on the last straw with them. I will kick them. And like, yeah, they definitely have no grounds. Like, if I want to just continue to use their characters, I can. It doesn't matter. It's like a private friend thing. They have no real grounds to do that. As the two lawyers in the chat have already said, they have no real grounds. Because a lot of their characters don't exactly follow their quote-unquote lore either. And I also don't even know their lore anyway. So it's not like I'm stealing from it because I'm just writing whatever I feel like in the moment. And I don't know their fucking stories, so I can't possibly steal from their lore other than the fact that the character has a name and a design. I don't know anything about their lore because they never really fully explained it, so I don't know anything to steal. I barely know anything. Not a lawyer, you're right. Not a lawyer. Not a lawyer yet. I know you're not. Okay, I know, Cryo. I know. Cryo has to guard themselves. Look at Cryo. Cryo's lowering themselves. Cryo's lowering themselves right now. And poor Cryo. Me being like, Cryo's smart. Cryo, wait a minute. No. Yeah, yes. But in professional knowledge or judgment, Crowd, what would you say? In professional knowledge or judgment, what would you say? But if you had to give me the good advice, what would you say? Hypothetically, of course. Hypothetically. This is admissible in court. What do you mean you can't give that to me? What do you mean? Hypothetically. Alright, so hypothetically you had your license. What would you give me? This is not admissible in court. This isn't usable in court. If you had your license, hypothetically, what would you say? Fox, hi Fox. And it's not commercial. That was part of Cloud Pie, so I don't see any damages from this, in my opinion. Yeah, true. We're not really doing anything and we're not really streaming it for the most part. And the name Ethereal, she doesn't really have copyright over that word. That's just a word that I thought was neat. Let me see if I can find where the word ethereal came from. Because I remember I made it. Hold on. I don't think it was a word that she made up on her own. I think I remember kind of making it up. Is ethereally a common fantasy term? Well, not ethereal. It was... Okay, so it was ethereal, but she spelled it weird. With, like, you know, hyphens and stuff. So it was ethereal. Oh, I need to find a picture of it. I don't remember how this thing is spelled. Sloppy boy art. Yeah, I don't think she made ethereal because I'm looking through her DMs to try and find it. She didn't even spell it right. She spelled it the way that you wrote it there right now. But yeah, she didn't even spell it right. Sci-fi opinion. I see. Let me see. I don't really see anything here from her really naming it, other than her just saying she did do it. Yeah, from what I can see, it's just me, like, I can just find the oldest chat is just me being, like, random places here. Of them just making up words for the area. Yeah, it's just me and a bunch of people making a bunch of names. So it's not even her, it was literally just me and a bunch of people throwing out random names to call these places. Where we were just randomly throwing out names, and she just threw out one name, and I was like, oh, that's a cool name, and I just threw it in there. There was nothing there. She just threw out a name, and I wrote it in there. There was no copyright. I actually found the documents of us actually making the name for the country. It's me in a chat, sitting there with the map open, with the way I designed the map myself, because I designed the map in the area and the people who live there. I designed everything who lives there. And I was like, all right, what do we name this place? And like all I had was Deus Reich, and it's everyone just throwing out different names of like different types and whatever. I have one of my friends naming Lumi Paradiso, naming it Snow Paradise, like just searching up and just throwing out random names. So I have that here. I have a bunch of like other names like Kai Dominion, like we have a bunch of names here that we all were just throwing out to like name the map for our D&D campaign. There's like 5 other names here for the desert land, which we eventually chose Ola Ocha. And there's her one name, Ethereal, that she threw out that I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just put it on here and we didn't think of anything more. And I see all the other names here that's what's being thrown out for like the jungle that we eventually chose. Yeah, I found it. It was literally just a full list of names that we were just throwing out, and she just threw out one name that was really good, and we just took it for that wood, and we just kept moving on to the other continents. We were all just throwing up and making up names together. She's trying to take ownership for a group effort of like everyone in VC typing out a full list of names and just picking between them based off of shit just we threw out at Google, just to see like, oh, human and wet. Let's throw names together and just see what we can get through translating. She's trying to take credit for a Google translating thing, or just like randomly changing words slightly and pronunciation of words slightly. There is no grounds here. It's just all of us in the VC throwing out random names we've got from Google that we throw out into like Google Translate for different languages. Do I play card games? Not really. I really can't believe how bold she was to say I created it. Maybe in her head it had more words to it, but when she told us it didn't have any value. There was no value in it. She may have had more things in her mind, but when we were told, it was just a word that she gave us for us to put on a continent. Because I made the map and I made the way the place looks. She just threw a name at it. I think this is like a remix someone has. What type of remix is this? Oh, it's Majora's Mask sound file, that's why. Alright, chat. I can't believe it. I knew I was right and that it was definitely not her, and it was just a group of us doing something in a VC together. Are you slapping me? Why are you slapping me? Yeah, there's the true origin of my D&D world naming thing. Which isn't even actually part of my official lore, that's just private D&D stuff. That's not even my actual official world, that's just a world made purely for D&D for friends, and she's trying to copyright and make it businessy. Lame as fuck. It's lore now, no. No lore to do with my OCs, no lore to do with Sani. But yeah, that's crazy that I'm seeing her trying to take ownership of it when it was we're sitting in VC and she threw out a word purely for us to put in our world. And apparently, quote unquote, she didn't tell us the full context of it, that she was using it for her own lore. So, fuck no. Fuck that shit. That sounds deceptive as fuck. Hi, Petite. Hi, Petite. Hi, Petite. Goodness, thank goodness you weren't here when I was showing off my D&D server lore. You'd have been pissed. No, I'm not being rage baited. I was explaining how one of my players who left my D&D campaign tried to threaten me with copyright laws for a private friend group thing. And I was like looking up to see if she actually had any grounds for like the name that she made for the world, but she didn't really have any at all. These arms look too thin and small. This isn't how I look. I'm skinny, but not that skinny, chat. I'm trying to draw me in my sleepy outfit. And drop the sleep mask. Yeah, I might actually make this into a model outfit where we have sleepy Sonny model that I'll do like during late night streams. But of course I need to draw the Valentine's Day outfit and model that one first. And obviously censor it more. I need to figure out like how far I can go with censoring. Because I see VTubers who are way more scantily clothed than I am in some places. But I know rules are slightly different depending on areas. It's such a bitch and a half. I hate it. I wish I could just make an outfit very simple, but it's so fucking hard, man. With Twitch's thumb rules. I have like really cool, nice outfits that I want to do that aren't like fully explicitly nude, but like I can't really do much with them because like, oh, the shirts or the hips, I don't know. True, the rules do become recommendations. If anything, I probably don't even need to change the name of Ethereal. I was thinking of streaming that place because I was like, oh, Shane wants to be a bun, so I'll probably make him like do the whole story of Ethereal. But I've already misspelled these places so many times, I'll probably just misspell it again. I'll probably just change the name of the place slightly, maybe. Or maybe it's spelled wrong already, I don't know. Yeah, you could be a bear. I still want to finish my D&D campaigns before I start moving to other ones. And be jamming with other be playing with other people. I don't know yet. I don't know what groups are doing it. I know Fool wants to do one. I know Packet wants to play with me. I know Shane wants to play with me, but I don't know whose group is playing with what. I have to see. I mean, you guys have good vibes with each other, so like you guys could just play with any, like you guys could play with each other and I don't have to worry about the vibes. So I don't know. I don't really know. I have to think. And then I can stream D&D. I'll just stream the games with you guys. I just want to play D&D with my friends and stream my games to my audience because I like streaming and showing my fun things with my audience. Regardless of these dum-dums and their stupid copyright threats they try to threaten me with. If we're streaming, it's transformative. And besides, it's not like these guys really have the money to really start throwing out lawsuits. They don't really have the money for that. These guys are broke. Yeah, I just like doing things for fun. Yeah, D&D is fun when you have good people with you and not crazy, controlling, toxic people who secretly start using your campaign to write their own stories without telling you, and then says everything they made is copyrighted on their own. I never approved of any of that, by the way. Of all like the whole things of like, oh, she owns this and whatever. Like, I never knew any of that. She just tried like writing her own stories secretly as a GM in my campaign and didn't tell me and thought it was okay. Crazy, crazy series of events. By the time that it was too late at a point to where I just kind of like let it happen. Yeah, D&D is fun. As long as you have a good group of people. You can have very awful, toxic people like mine. Like I said, my group had pretty much the worst types of people you can have in any group, all in one group. And I invited them knowing that they were bad. Which is kind of my own fault. Bear cry. If I do let you play, I might let you quack. I have to stretch and hydrate. I didn't see. My back hurts so much from shoveling. Thank you. Bear cry. You'd probably play with Shuri and them. I probably would do that if anything. Made you guys do like an elven story. I never got to do anything with the elves in my campaign because like I said, that player was super duper controlling with their story, so I didn't really get to do anything I wanted to do with the elves. My story. So if anything, I'll let you guys just play through that. I'll give you guys like an elven side quest. Or like an elven main story where you guys focus on the elves and their racial things and how they treat people. I've been quite a bit as well. I was the host of most of them. 6 years? I think I've also been playing for like 6 years, yeah. Yeah, I think 6 years as well. Mine was like, yeah, during COVID. Yeah, started from COVID. Why did I detail this armpit so much if I was just going to cover it up with fabric? Live before COVID, I see. I assume you guys will be normal. I don't really have to worry about you guys, like, you know, getting really toxic and hating each other. You guys seem to be mature. I'm having fun, yeah. My D&Ds are also extremely visual based, so you guys will enjoy it quite a bit if I do stream it. Hi, Grim. Like, my D&Ds are very, very... They're decently high production visual based. Especially since, for my D&D campaigns, I usually draw a lot of the character art and tokens. So, like, they're very high visual. I do it less so now, but because, you know, with how my players were treating me, I had less reason to spend what is essentially hundreds of dollars worth of time working on D&D art for ungrateful fucks. I'm sure, like, if Petit knew, Petit probably would have told me way long ago, like, oh, they treat you like this, and you're doing so much free art for them. Like, I've done, like, over about 20 pieces of free art for these guys for the campaign. for their characters, for their tokens, for the NPCs, stuff like that. And I also pretty much made most of their sheets for them. I did a lot of what most GMs would probably charge for. A lot of people charge for this, and I pretty much gave it to all of them for free. I think a lot more than 27 actually. Like if I think about it, like hold on. Let me pull this. Let me pull it up. Where's the chibis? I can find the chibis of their tokens, so you can see how many players I actually like made full art of, and I can tell you. Hold on. This is all free, by the way. I never asked them to pay me. I want to make that clear. I never asked them to pay me, which is fine. But it does show how ungrateful they kind of were. It's like all these I drew, of course. So all these were like drawn. So all of this was free. All this was drawn. I drew full art for this character. I drew full art for this character. Those are player characters. I drew full art for that one. This is a player character. I only drew the token. Full art for this one. 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 I don't think I drew this one. This was done by another art. I mean, I made this token, but the full art was done by another artist. I drew a full art for this one. 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 These is another set of players like this one. This fox. These two characters are, and this one is another set of characters. I drew a full art for them. 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 Yeah, I drew full art for them. 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 I didn't draw full art for her. She drew hers herself. I didn't draw full art for her. I didn't do one for her. I didn't do one for him. I did one for this one, but that's my own character. I drew this token. These are I just drew tokens for those ones. Token as well. I didn't draw full art. I drew full art for him. Drew full art for him. These are just tokens. Drew full art for her. Drew full art for him. Drew full art for this one. Full art. Drew full art once and then never again. Drew full art for this one. Drew full art for this one. Full art for this one. Full art for this one. This one I was extremely proud of. Hold on, let me show you this one. This is one of the players who yelled at me, shouted at me the most, and left because of the one player who was complaining a lot, who didn't finish her sheet for 3 years. Let me just show you. I drew this full art for that token, for that person's character. There's even kanji written in here. Yep. Full art for them because I liked Fire Emblem, so I pretty much pulled it in and hi Pokey, oh my gosh, hi Pokey. But yeah, I pretty much drew full. I liked making like token like Fire Emblem conversation screens. So I made full art for everybody's characters so they would have conversation screens. Full art here, full art for this one, full art for this one, full art for this one. Only 80 players, so most of these are NPCs. Full art for this one, full art for this one, full art, full art, full art, token only, full art, full art, full art, token, full art, full art, full art, token only. This was done by another, the full art was done by another artist friend of mine, because that was his character. Full art, 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 just token, full art, full art, full art, full art, full art. So yeah, I drew full art for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I drew full art for 14 player characters, so 14 full portraits for a lot of their characters here. There were they had a lot of characters, but like I drew 14 for a majority of them. And some who didn't get finished either. I drew full like art for them. Oh, wait. No, 16. I forgot these two. These two down here, 16. So like 16 full art pieces. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Oh, so you love how I color the orb thingies? I was coloring orbs like that for a while. Yeah, it's fun. It was very fun. Like I did full portrait arts of like most of these guys, and yeah, this is Wolfric. I drew this. I drew this. This isn't just Wolfric's PNG. This is hand drawn. I drew Wolfric. But before you don't believe me, where is it? Hey yo, Ace, hello. I drew it. Like, hold on. Look, here's all the layers. I drew everything. I shaded the whole thing. All the layers. Drew the whole thing. I can take it one by one. I was accused of tracing this a long time ago. I drew everything one by one. All of it one by one. You can tell I did it all by hand by all the stuff here. Of course, there's no time lapse for this at all because this is before time lapse were a thing in Discord in Clip Studio. Yeah, I drew it. Drew it all by hand. I was accused of tracing. I drew it all by hand. Whole entire line work by hand. All these strokes by hand. All by hand. Yeah, I did my ass out for the Xenoblade tokens. Because there was a campaign with blades in it, so that you guys could have blades and use them as weapons. Yeah, I did pretty much all the blades by hand, because I love Xenoblade, and if I love a series, I'm super good. Why are you gonna yell at me? Hold on. I'll call you Cryo so you can yell at me. Hold on. I'm gonna call Cryo, guys. Cryo wants to yell at me. Hi. Wait, hold on. You're quiet. Hold on. I need to turn you up. I need to turn you up way more.
Okay. So I've seen your prices, right?
Yes.
And each of those pieces runs about 75 to 1 something, right?
Yes.
So it's fair to say you gave away well over 5K worth of art here, right?
Yes.
For people that bullied not just you as a DM who's setting up and planning for a fucking week, but also their friends.
Yes. Essentially, yes.
Fucking bottoms. Why do you do this to yourself? Have a fucking spine for once in your life.
They were my friends. I didn't know you better.
They were bullying you. This is like when I used to, because I used to have bad friends, right?
Yeah, you want to hear the worst part? Hold on. So
what?
You see,
what's the worst?
So you see the ones on this row, pretty much the Sylvans, because there were Sylvans and a Kitsune. So there's this girl, this fox boy, and these three. So they left after the first week, and they shouted me very hard. They were very vocally mean to me, and took the art and left and made their own campaign with another GM. Like within the first 2 or 3 weeks of us starting the game. This guy rallied everyone together and just got everyone to shit on me like after I first started GMing and took all the art for his characters and the other 2 people in left.
I'm begging you, please value yourself more than that. Why are these people still in your server? at all.
To be fair, these four are gone. These four are gone.
3WD what?
Do you guys know the game? Do you know the game? Fuck, what is it called? Shit, it's that shooting. Fuck, what is it? Dead Estate. You guys know Dead Estate? The game on Steam, Dead Estate, with the big tittied witch. That was popular on Steam for like a year or so ago. This was his character. This is the creator of Dead Estate's character. He played with me.
27, no.
And he got and they gaslit him into leaving the game. This was the dev of Dead Estate, and he left. He's still kind of nice to me, and I still follow him on Twitter. But yeah, this was the creator of Dead Estate was playing with me in my game, and then left because of this chucklefuck whose entire personality on the internet was being mean to people. Look, I didn't defend them afterwards. I kicked those guys out, but yeah, the other ones, yeah, I kind of let them. I did let them stay longer than I should have. Yeah.
Funny.
The worst part is I didn't want those ones in who caused everyone to leave. I actually straight up said I don't want them to play with us because I think they're gonna cause something bad to happen, and I let them in anyways because they found out. Because I was gonna keep the game private, and I was like, oh well, if you found out, I'll let you play anyways. Even though I knew I probably shouldn't invite them, and I let them in anyways.
Sonny, hon, you can't do this to yourself. Sweet baby, no. Like, you have to take better care of yourself.
I am now. I made one of them leave the game, and I'm not gonna let them back if they want to come back.
Pokil 3WD, we need to protect
Sonny, do you need like someone else to step in and talk for you?
That's pretty much why I
just worry that you're.
That's why I put you here.
Okay.
That's why I have mods.
Like, I guess I'm here too for that same reason, because you shouldn't let yourself be literally walked over and have people just run away with 5K worth of assets. You get how that's fucked up, right?
Yeah, that's not even putting into account the work that went into writing and making all the handouts. Did I tell you what had happened in season 3 of my D&D thing, where I made a whole bunch of I found this thing where you could pretty much put on the map tokens that you can click on and it would tell you information about the area. I made fishing spots, herb spots, etc. Pretty much you could roll a dice and you can get fish, herbs, etc. and crafting systems. And a whole pretty much open world exploring thing where they could go travel around the map, do whatever. There were mini quests everywhere, small tombs, dungeons that I pre-made like 20 of before we even started the 3rd season. And they never did it. They complained about not having any freedom to go around and do what they wanted. I gave it to them. They got stuck in one dungeon for like an hour, and the main player ignored whenever I told her that you could leave whenever you wanted, and she yelled at me saying I didn't hear it, and she got so mad and just shat at me, and then no one ever used it again. So the entire map of like free roaming content in the campaign I'm going to let you play in kind of went to waste because one player had a huge tantrum, and it just made everyone sour on the whole thing. So pretty much months of a month or two of work just went down the drain because she played it wrong and got really mad, and no one went to explore at all ever again and free roam on the map. That I pretty much got a whole programming thing set up to do and wrote a whole bunch of lists of dialogue, locations, seasons, fish and stuff to go around and do. Because she got mad once and no one else wanted to play it ever again. And we just went back to scripted stories from that point on.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was
to be
bad.
fair, it could be worse. We got free reign, right? Our DM gave us free reign.
Oh, it was worse. The entire map got destroyed by one of the players who drew over everything, and then when I tried to erase the drawing, it deleted all the tokens and everything off the map with all the information. So I had none of it anywhere.
It's kind of funny, though.
That is a little bit funny. It's a little bit funny.
So let me tell you my horror story.
Yeah, tell me.
So, like, the starting theme for this campaign was, like, we were in a pre-map world, and the way the DM did it was that we just had to kind of roll for it, and they had the entire world map plotted out, but it was all in, like, macro scale, and we wouldn't know where we were on the hex or on the map until we got into, like, fights and stuff, and, like, had to, like, roll location and geography to figure out where we were, right?
Right.
So this was a problem from the get-go, because we immediately ran into, like, this clouded fog forest that took us, like, weeks to navigate and find a safe harbor, and we kept coming back to the only places we knew. Oh, we did make it through that one chapter, and then got lost on the other side of an impassable blizzard, and went on an entire side quest for one character where he was, like, trying to find his dragon heritage, right?
Rest Green Bot
Right.
said Twitch.
He proceeded to find his dad, say 3 sentences, and then leave. Because he didn't know how to RP it.
Incredible.
His dad was like this dragon emperor, by the way, who hit it and quit it with his mom. So
God.
we wasted like years of travel, by the way. When the whole thing was we were trying to stop this genocidal threat from taking hold, right? This like race called the Tamas, and they kept snowballing, right? So each day we spent was like being tracked of like the army was getting bigger, and more villages were either being enslaved or killed, like just butchered, because they didn't view any other sentient life as like worthy of them, right? They viewed it all as like just ungrateful messes, because they viewed themselves as the harbinger of the end and stuff. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So we finished this like 3-year escapade by just
Rest Green Bot said
it was a very metal world, but the wind will really be taken out of the sails when you hear the end. It was a very cool world, very cool in practice. All the fights we were Pathfinder 1E Gestalts, which means we got 2 full classes, but we only got the stats of 1. So basically you would get full perks from 2 classes melded together. So I like multi-classed in Inquisitor and Monk, because they both use Wisdom, Con, and Dex.
Yeah, and you got all the skills from both classes, but only the ability scores from one.
Except I picked the worst classes for both of them that were tarot themed, so I was an RNG focused monk. I was still the best party member because I was evading tanking bosses that were like hitting plus 10 BAB above us. Like insane shit, just because of how many buffs and spells I could stack on myself. Moving on, we do get back to the genocidal threat. We see our friends, like, are slowly falling apart because it's been so long. Like, the one fucking ally we had, Leon, is like, he's like this, he's falling apart in the face of generals. His entire, like, safe haven has come under siege. By the time we get there to save him, like, half the people are murdered, and he's like, I can't keep sustaining this, we have to move. And we have to flee into, like, the unknown. And so we're trying to rally. We do end up killing 2 of the main generals, right? So we are on our way to ending the campaign, but we still have, like, a big arc to go through still, right? And then back to the map. We roll the wrong tile and go into the mountain range where the final boss is actively waging war. And the DM decides, y'all are now fighting the boss 3 levels underneath where y'all are supposed to be. We're level, like, 12 or 13 at this rate. The final boss is a level 17. It is, like, level 17 minimum for us to actually beat him, right? And we had 3 of us had crazy buffs. Guess who didn't? Moi. Me. We hadn't gone through my arc fully. My people were being genocided by this creature named Greed. We had killed all the other sins, but Greed was left alone and was taking the place and warping any wood left in the in the mountain ranges. So my people were like dwarves that were deforesting at like an existential level just to survive another day. All wood had been banned from their culture. They were using coal instead of any form of charcoal because they strictly needed to mine coal to then. So like they're using heavy metal axes. Everything is like has to be metal centric or else they're dying to the wood. Even their houses are carved out of the mountain at this rate. We never found out what happened to them because this is when my law final happened for 1L year. And I was like, I need to take a week off. And my then boyfriend was like, yeah, I need to help her study and stuff and be with her, right?
Right.
So 2 players are down, and the DM called out sick the week before and said, I don't want to call out again, right?
Right.
So they fought the final boss, 3 party members down, and TPK. With the only character who survived being me as an NPC after I lost 2 limbs. Or no, I lost 1 limb. I lost my other arm after having regenerated 1 as a cat. Complicated. One of our people was a cat oracle. They were like a sorcerer oracle. So they were like, their only stat was charisma. And their whole curse was that they could only speak in meows, because you have to get a curse as an oracle. They could only speak in meows during combat or during stressful situations.
I see.
They can still cast spells, they can still do a lot of their stuff, but like, good luck conveying anything. Anyways, like they regenerated my arm, and so I was a monk who was left with one cat arm, and I'm the only one who survives. And then we find out that the reason that it ended up being a final boss fight, despite us maybe having a chance to get away, is because one of the player characters, the guy who was a dragon, had an issue of continually attacking people during their monologues. So we like would lose out on critical storytelling. On on the two generals, we still didn't know what their plan was because he attacked in the middle of their monologue both times.
Oh my god.
And you know what he did to the final boss?
What did he do?
He attacked in the middle of the monologue after promising me that he wouldn't do it. So we ended up TPKing because we fought the final boss when we might not have had to. We might have been able to leave, but we fought him under-leveled with two party members absent because he punched him during the middle of his evil monologue.
That's amazing. Horrid, but amazing.
And keep in mind, this all happened because of a geography mishap where we rolled incorrectly and went the wrong way on the map.
God, with how much you guys tell me how much more complicated you do in your campaign, I'm just amazed because my players would probably just be like, we're quitting if I even suggested to do something even remotely slightly like that. If I ever even dared.
So Pathfinder 1E, the way it works is, first off, feats do a lot more and a lot less. They're like, you can do really cool stuff with feats, but they're incremental, so you have prerequisite feats, right?
Yeah.
And you get a feat every odd level. So you get way more feats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was getting feats that, like, okay, I had a feat that was like a Dwarven Heritage that gave me a +2 AC for Steel Skin. And I had another one that gave me +4, like Spellbreaker, because like dwarves due to their like immutable nature, being birthed by Titan, the Earth God there, dwarves are naturally resistant to spellcraft, right? And so I was able to take 2 feats to give me a +4 on all spell saves and DCs, which is really good because spell save DCs go crazy in Pathfinder. It was like just a crazy campaign all around. I was having a great time until it ended all of a sudden when I was taking an exam.
Message cases.
That was my last campaign. The one before that, I ended up being a little bat evangelist of the god of judgment. Specifically the god who would like judge souls after they were dead. I ended up becoming a psychopomp after I saw when everyone would die. I basically got Shinigami eyes by bathing in the dead body of a Shinigami we killed. It was fucked up. It was a good campaign though.
Wow.
The big bad for that one was the Scarlet King, or like there's something adjacent to it. He's adjacent to the King in Red, but just an overall great campaign. I loved it. I was this meek little bat that was like would give people tea and tried to like take care of them and be this kindly grandmother. And even her whole thing is that she tends to the souls that have been forgotten by everyone else or neglected and deemed heretics. So she even tends to the like the wall of souls as they get gradually reabsorbed into the cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's this kindly grandmother and has once per day power word kill as her capstone.
Amazing.
Let me see if I can find the art that I was using for her. I chose the most diminutive Batfolk art possible. Yeah, I chose this one. So this was for I will pay part because I don't want you giving away tons of art for free.
For free.
No, bad Sonny. I'm gonna get a spray bottle out.
What the hell?
You need to
that's cute.
Please value yourself a little bit more. It's okay if you want to do 1 or 2 things, but
as much as I did.
But not as much as you did, yeah. And I will be commissioning other pieces of them if you do that to make up for it. Just don't be a dunce about it, okay?
I won't.
Okay.
I just hold on. I showed you guys. Remember weeks ago when I was drawing that space elf for like my sci-fi campaign? Where is he? That's my one last player who's around, and he still obviously wants to play because he really loves his character. Even now, after hearing everything that he heard about from what happened in the campaign, he's like, "Let me pay you for this." Cause like, where is it? Cause I took a while to draw his. No rush. He wasn't rushing me. Where's he? Hold on. Rev B. Look at this guy. Look, everyone look on stream. Look at this Elven guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm paying you for this," because he loves it. After hearing everything, he's like, "Yeah, I'll pay you for this art."
That seems like a good player and a good guy, yeah.
He's the main reason that we started
Holy
D&D again.
fuck, he has a snatch waist.
I love drawing my buff men with snatch waist. Where's
Where's
his token?
Dorito?
I have his token here too.
Also, I can give you the Pokemon stories now if you want, because it is so. Also, thank you, Zach influenced my voice. Thank you so much. I think it's very bad, but I appreciate it.
I like Cryo's voice.
Well, it's not really girly, is it? But what? I digress. So we had it was from a system called Pokemon Tabletop United, which is a system both for trainers to have classes on which like modify how you raise your Pokemon and what skills you can specialize in, right?
Right.
And so my character was a nerd who was trying to turn over a new leaf after being the receptionist at Alessa's gym. Alessa from Unova, the fashion icon.
Yeah.
She was trying to be like an Instagram influencer, but like a quirky girl type. It was great. I loved it. My starter was a Mareep. My team was cracked by the end, which was very early. We made it to 1 gym. But my team was like everyone else. There was one person who kept losing to Eradicate and couldn't clear Eradicate because it kept critting him.
Oh my god.
And he had a Mankey as a starter.
That happened to one of my players who started in what was it?
Sound alerts haunting
Alola, and they kept getting their ass beat by Zubat with Swift because it never misses.
Said Twitch,
so they just kept getting their ass kicked by
Zubat.
Let me see if I can get into my files to go look up the team that I had exactly.
I actually was gonna start doing another Pokemon campaign again soon because my players were like, "Oh, we just finished playing ZA, and we really would like to do a ZA campaign. And we know you hated the Pokemon campaign and how it went." They were saying to me, but we're like, if you wanted to, because I was really good at it, even though I hated like what some of my players did. Like, if you really wanted to, would you run a Pokemon ZA campaign for us where we just rank up and fight and challenge and stuff? And I said, yeah, sure. It'd be fun. I'd probably get more people down to do that one as well, because that wouldn't be too hard to do. It would just be making trainers teams to fight every week and a small story.
Okay, I found it. I had so my Pokemon were as follows. I had a Mareep. I was an electrical specialist. I had a Mareep, an Elekid that I caught, a Beldum, and the fucking monster that ruined this entire campaign was a Morpeko that a Pokemon breeder gave me. Who, the DM said, you can pick any 2 moves on this, because they're egg moves, right? So any of the 2 egg moves you can put on the Pokemon. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And they were like, what do you mean? Do you know what 2 egg moves I put on this fucking Morpeko that ruined the entire campaign?
I don't know.
In terms of me on other playing fields, because another person had a Lillipup as a starter.
Yeah.
I gave it Parting Shot Fake Out.
You're a disgusting creature. That's beautiful.
And then I made it my Mareep a bulky special attacker.
That's
so
beautiful.
I would fake out to get huge amounts of chip damage because it had good speed and crit rate. Mm-hmm. And then I would swap it out into Mareep that I could give damage reduction because it was an electric type ace. Mm-hmm. And my Mareep would just fire off shocks to a nerfed person. It worked pretty well. But I was a cheerleader fashionista as my classes, so I could make certain held items that would give them once per combat actions. I could also give cheers where I could give extra action points to people for using stat trainings and stuff, and mainly just giving stats. It was good. But my character was a cheerleader, remember?
Yeah.
Who was an electric type nerd who was raised by two scientists who was trying to like run away from her nerd past, right?
Right.
So her name was Amy, but her actual name was Ampere, like amps, right?
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes of the game starting, the person who's supposed to be a normal type specialist comes up to me with a briefcase, in a suit with a briefcase, right? And goes up and says, "Hello, Ampere, we went to high school together." And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" And it's apparently someone who sat at the back of the classroom and never talked to me, but comes up, dead names me, and then sits and stares at the wall for the rest of the boat ride. I'm not joking. This is what he actually did. And he's like, "This is what normal people do, right?" And I'm like, "No, this isn't normal." He kept doing this the entire campaign so that it became like this like stereotype of it's some dude who's trying so desperately to be normal, but is so like deeply unsocialized.
Yeah.
He's just completely weird. And everyone was like slightly off-put. But then remember, the DM was a Fujoshi, so she gave him this weird yandere stalker boyfriend who they weren't dating, but was like really into him and like stole him a Porygon and then got the cops on us. like early into a campaign, because he was like, "I would really like a Porygon, but I can't afford one from this store." So we walked out. It was such a beautiful mess, but then two of the people had like a Phantump and like a Mankey and like no other Pokemon. It was really rough. So like my I got a lot of electric types because I got really lucky in the city, but the other people, like the Phantom player had like a single Phantom and a Pidgey, and the Mankey player had a Mankey and an Azurill.
I can't wait
That
to
was
see
it.
the art when it's done.
Or Meryl. It was just so goofy.
My Pokemon campaign.
Yeah.
I told you how my Pokemon campaign had one of my players who turned into a Chimchar have sex with Hunter J from the anime, right?
Jesus Christ! I forgot about that.
He
See,
lost.
we had very different kind of campaigns.
Yeah, he lost his power suit, and then Hunter J found it because when he turned into a Pokemon, his clothes and his sci-fi weaponry disappeared. So he lost it, and Hunter J found it, and he's like, "How do I get her out of those clothes?" Genius. I have to have sex with her. That way she has to get naked. And after sex, if I'm good enough, she'll be so exhausted, I can just take the armor and leave. And it worked.
Sonny, I really wish that you had more rules on your campaigns, because what the
No,
fuck?
that was amazing. I would never take that back. That was beautiful. Dude,
I
I prefer that to the player who wanted to be Sabrina and started murdering everybody to get higher psychic power. I preferred the sex. The sex was better because he had a child. And it was beautiful, and they grew, and it was amazing. I love it. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful series of events. Hi.
What the fuck?
It was beautiful. You don't
Why
understand.
did you make it so that they would grow their psychic power by killing people?
Well, because
you could just say that they have to do it by meditating or give it other mechanics.
He explained it to me like Sabrina, and he was like, "How do I get stronger psychic power?" And I wasn't just thinking of like, I don't know, you do something crazy. Because her stuff was like mentally and traumatizing or some shit. So I guess if you do something like that, it'll get it up. And then one day he's like, okay. And then one day randomly he's like, I killed all these people. Did my powers grow? I'm like, I guess technically. And then it technically spiraled. You
have to learn about incentives for players.
I raw dogged the fuck out of the Pokemon campaign. That was the one campaign I had.
Could have been avoided.
All of it could have been avoided.
So much of this could be hello NPC or Poe. Yeah, so much of this could be avoided.
I raw dogged. The Pokemon campaign was fun, all things considered. It literally ended with them going to the World Tree, the Tree of Life, at the end of Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. When it goes up into the sky and Dark Matter is trying to erase it by dropping the Tree of Life into the sun while Rayquaza and Deoxys are shooting laser beams to slow it down. And with Pokemon trainers traveling to the World of Mystery to fight and slow it down and stop it while fucking, I think, Necrozma ate Eternatus and fused into one single dark creature.
NPC
so just everyone fighting them, fighting dark matter at the top of the tree while the tree's in space and stuff.
Technically they could
with Xerneas there and everything, it was really cool. And that one player sacrificed himself, the one who was Sabrina, sacrificed himself to save everybody. It was really beautiful.
Rest Greenbot said Twitch. Joey Ornate 123 salutations.
I couldn't be mad
You
at
know-
that point. I'm like, he sacrificed, he did it. He removed all the darkness from the world. He was crazy. Like, he was chaotic good to remove all evil from the world, and he did it. He killed dark matter.
I
he
would
killed
say
it.
chaotic neutral because they kept killing people to harvest their psychic power.
To be fair, it was only evil people. So he killed a bunch of Team Rocket and grunts. But you know they're also we know that Team
Okay.
Rocket grunts aren't completely evil. They're normal people. They're just
Okay,
kind of
I've
fucked
got a
up.
question.
Yeah.
If you just said, okay, yeah, this person is technically a murderer, but all the people they killed were jailed for a crime, and it's like, dude, this guy was here for robbing a woman's handbag.
Yeah, it essentially was that. It was that. It wasn't
Yeah,
justifiable.
petty theft is not a reason for execution, Sonny.
Hello, Joey. It wasn't. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
Rest Reambot said Twitch. Joey
Sonny,
Ornate
bad
123 came in when
Sonny.
Sonny said he raw dogged the Pokemon
Sonny
Narada
raw dog.
Armura.
No, Sonny did not raw dog a Pokemon.
Yeah, no, that was one of my other players. They were a Pokemon who raw dogged a woman and had a half Chimchar, half human
Jesus
child.
Christ!
I constantly
Why?
They had to get the armor off, remember, to get their suit back. They had to get her clothes
Sorry.
off to get the suit back.
Sonny, we need to talk about this some other time. We
No,
need
it was
to,
beautiful. It was the best. Listen, he brought it up to me as an
Rest
idea,
Reambot
and I
said
just sat
Twitch.
there. I'm like,
NPC_or_po. How is that any
this
better?
is your idea? This is really your idea? Sure. Fuck it. Roll your
Sonny,
dice.
okay,
Roll the
Sonny.
dice and see how well you are at it. And he rolled well.
Let me. Okay, Sonny. You know, there's like, so there's like four squares I put decisions into, right?
Right?
There's people that make smart decisions with smart reasoning, right? Those are smart people. There's people that make dumb decisions with smart reasoning. So maybe they make a few mistakes due to not understanding something, but they have good reasoning, right? So these are people with good rationale
Yeah.
who can like fully go through with their decisions and they can
Green
learn.
Bot
They have
said
a
Twitch.
they have a
Joey
potential to go to the
123
smart,
and
right?
Jews watched and
There's
let that
smart
happen.
dumb people which are
Type
dangerous who
HMPF.
think about whether you could do something and not whether you should do something. So they're like, could I write an arc where a Chimchar had a child with Hunter J?
Oh, no, that was all
For-
one session. No, that was all one session. It wasn't even an arc. It was all one session. He brought up the idea. I'm like, sure, fuck it. Go ahead. And he rolled well.
Okay, then we're not in the smart dumb because there was no story element to it. It was just in the dumb dumb, which is you had what the fuck is this, Sonny? What's
Alright,
the
so
reason?
Let me
It's
explain.
a Chimchar. It's
let me-
small.
Let me
It's
explain
small.
Hunter. Let me explain Hunter J's story, and I'll recap the other person's story. So Hunter J was just how she was in the anime, and she
So
eventually
she was Medusa.
essentially yes, she was Medusing and kidnapping Pokemon, and eventually she came into. So I separated all the players. So like everyone who played a ranger was on the ranger continent side of the world. Everyone who was a trainer was in the normal continents of the trainers, and everyone who was a mystery dungeon player was in the world of mystery, which was separated by a magical barrier. Somehow, through some means, the player who was a Chimchar traveled his way through the magical barrier with the help of the Ninetales who caused the curse. Using their magical powers, sent them over there because they were trying to find one of the players who was a human trainer because they knew each other and they got separated. So he teleported there and ended up on her ship and was trying to rescue all the Pokemon that were captured and then came into contact with the trainers. Hunter J was there trying to capture them because Hunter J had learned, thanks to her ship, the world of mystery and was kidnapping people and Pokemon from villages in the world of mystery, turning them into statues so she could sell them because it was pretty much just a world of really good Pokemon that was worth a lot of money. And the trainers got on the ship to fight her and stop her normally, and they see these Pokemon there with scarves and shit fighting her as well. She fights them. A Pokemon, an Ultra Beast comes through, and they're fighting them. And somehow the Ultra Beast has the ability to manipulate time and teleports her away, and we never see her again for a long while. And hijinks ensue for a while. Eventually, they go to the world of mystery after a whole set of events, and are arresting the person who was pretty much causing time to be stopped all around the entire world because he was stealing time gears. And they get tricked by Dust Noir, and Dust Noir drags them into the future. They break out from the prison that he put them in, and they run through, and they eventually meet Hunter J. This is where she ended up at when she disappeared. She was transported to the future, and she had the power suit because she found it after it was lost by the other player. So they're walking through, and she's like, we have to work together to leave, whether we like it or not. And the player is very, very dumb. She's trying to use the suit to, like, you know, steamroll and get through all this crazy monsters that exist in the future. And the player who actually knows how to use the suit is sitting on her shoulder because she doesn't know any better and she just thinks he's a useful chimchar. And he's telling her all of the ways the suit works. So in this scenario, she does get back to her normal time. She understands the complete usage of how the suit works and can use it against them when she's their enemy again. And then the players are freaking out being like, dude, you have to think of something. You told her exactly how the suit works and how to use all these powerful abilities of it. You need to think of some way to get rid of it from her. And under pressure, he's like, I'm gonna have sex with her. And I just sit there, I'm like, yeah, I guess that might get her to take off the suit, and if you make her really tired from sex, yeah, she wouldn't be able to really stop you from taking it from her. So he does the deed, rolls really well, takes the suit, and runs away. And she's so pissed and mad, but infatuated with him because he got such high flirt rolls as a chimchar, that when she travels away and leaves to go back to her normal time, she says, call me. And then she shows up later with his son, who's half Pokemon, half chimchar, who's growing really fast because he's a Pokemon. It was a beautiful series of events, truly. I did not expect the Hunter J arc to go that way, but he was under pressure because he made a stupid decision of telling her how the very dangerous suit works, and the players were like, you have to think of something to get that suit off of her. And everyone was just speechless when he said that. And he just said, sure, why not? See if you can do it. And he was able to do it.
Rest Reambot said Twitch, Joey Ornate 123 noise.
It was a miracle. It was a miracle, Cryo. You know, when I told Shay this, he loved it, and he was like, I want to play in this game. Shay was like, I love this, let me play. You understand the thought process, right? You understand it, right?
NPC underscore or underscore po OMG. Right? Sleepy Epa. So cute.
Guys, I don't think Cryo understands, guys. Thank you, Po. Good morning, Haru. Cryo. Cryo. You understand, right? I'm a very if you can roll good, you can do it kind of GM a lot of the times if you interest me. I'm very flexible with my rules of just, hey, if it sounds enough sense, I'll let you do it. How are you awake at this moment? Well, I mean, it's 6 p.m. for me. It's not that late or that early. It's normal time for me. I'm an American. Guys, I think we've made Cryo like completely speechless. I think
I turned down my gain because I was screaming. Sorry. Okay, so like, there's gotta be a better way. There's gotta be a should versus could.
There probably was a better way, but that was his idea, and I said go for it.
Also, like, this is a small nitpick, but why is the child gotta be half Pokemon, half human? Just make it like a human with like a chimchar gene factor or something like that. Where they can,
that's pretty much what it was. It looked like a human, but he had like a chimchar tail, pretty much. That was pretty much as far as he went.
You made it sound like it's this freak that I'm gonna have to
bring
out back.
He wasn't.
I thought it was like an old Yeller like mutant situation.
No, he looked pretty normal. He just had like a few chimchar features, yeah. But like he looked mostly like a human. America. He was normal. I forgot what his name was. He had a fuck ass name. He hated his son, by the way. The player hated his son, but I was like, this is the consequences of your actions. He hated that fucking kid.
Son? What did the son do wrong?
He was mad that it existed, and I'm like, you had sex with her.
You gotta take responsibility. I'm tired of these players being like, and so I'm gonna sleep with the dragon, and then they aren't prepared when the dragon comes around and is asking them to take care of the kid for a day. Like, it's a day, okay? Speaking of, if any of chat's seen the Yard D&D, that's exactly what they do. In the one shot that they warmed them up for the game, the turtle tries to sleep with the dragon, and in the first episode of the actual campaign, the dragon comes with asking for child support.
It's beautiful.
Rest Reambot said Twitch, Joey Ornate 123 half-human Pokemon person would probably be like Bose et Liliho Analyze. Rest Reambot said Twitch, Joey Ornate 123 also,
so beautiful.
Old Yeller Mutant.
Yeah, Old Yeller him. That's what Kyle is saying. Gotta kill him.
Know what I said?
Because he's so ugly.
Well, I was worried that it was like something that was gonna like be breathing wrong, like it's a big pug.
Yeah, no, he's normal. Like when we found him, he was like an elementary school size kid. And she was like, "This is your son. Take care of him." He's like, "Huh? What do you mean?" I'm like, "You had sex with her. This is your kid."
Yeah, but like,
you gotta take care of her.
What I'm saying is, if you want to seduce the dragon, you've got to pay the price of like when she comes asking for child support, and you have to name the dragon kid. Like, you know, you got to do it.
No, you gotta do it. It was hilarious, honestly. He hates that fucking kid and hopes that something bad happens to him, but he's gonna take care of him.
Why hate the kid? I don't get it. Why are you angry at the child? He's just so mad
that it exists. He's like, it just shouldn't exist. I'm like, but it's so funny, so I had to make it exist. the consequences of your actions are so funny.
I'm mad now. If you don't want the kid to exist, then don't
have sex.
Then don't have sex. Yeah.
It was his only idea. It was so funny. I love that player. That player makes such out of pocket like decisions that it just keeps it interesting. He's like the one player I was never able to predict on what he was gonna do. I saw this man literally kidnap a woman's husband in front of him, and do a little happy monkey dance. After he did it, he like jumped onto him, and as soon like this is after the husband and wife got reunited. He jumped onto the husband, and when he got teleported away, the husband went with him, and he did a little monkey dance. So this wife is traumatized because her husband that she just got back disappeared in front of him, and this monkey's doing a little happy dance. He's just so
this poor woman.
So crazy, so crazy.
Sonny be like, I'm so quirky.
I'm so quirky. I let my players do the most outrageous possible things they possibly could think of, if I think it's funny enough.
Chat, it was funny. You don't get it.
Chat was so funny. Chat, you would have loved to be. You would have loved. Chat, as much as I hate and shit on my D&Ds, you guys would have loved to see the fucking shit show that it was most of the time. Except for except for the fantasy one, the Pokemon one. I can only say that for the Pokemon one. The Pokemon one, I enjoyed watching the Pokemon one because every session I was just sitting there before we started. I'm like, how are they gonna make it worse? How are they gonna make it worse today? After everything that's happened so far, I don't believe it could get worse, but I'm pretty sure they will find a way to make this worse somehow. So I just
you enabled it.
After a while, I was just sitting there and I just didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. They just kept making worse and worse decisions, and I was like, I don't even know what to do for you guys. It's your choice. I was very much on my players have freedom to choose whatever they want type of thing, with how much they quote unquote claimed I never gave the freedom for them to choose anything. When it turns out their freedom is horrible fucking dog shit. They wanted to play with the stove and kept burning themselves, and I just didn't know what to say.
You're like, well, I guess it's funny if like you keep doing it. Like, I just stop touching the stove.
Just to stop doing it, yeah.
Okay, I can leave you be now. Just also, Sonny, remember what we said. Please take care of yourself.
I will. The toxic players are. That's the only reason you're legally allowed in the server at this point. I would not have let you in if I didn't feel as though it was safe enough. I would not.
I do want to specify, by the way, you're making it seem like it was an issue with me. Just say you would kick the toxic players, because I'm a fine player.
Oh yeah, you're great. I just didn't want you guys to get harassed like all my other friends did. It was a containment spear to keep the bad people out, and also mainly just because I was too lazy to move my lore out to make you read it outside of there, because it's so much easier in there because I wrote it all in there, and it's so much. I still need to read it.
But one of the funniest things about the campaigns I've in is like I've been in this. Have you been in the situation where you're like one of two people role playing the whole time? It's so awkward.
Dude, you know how many times my players try to talk out of roleplay and I respond them in roleplay because I didn't know.
That's so funny. It's a role-playing game.
Yeah.
It's not just the numbers on the sheet go vroom.
A lot of them are very bad at RP. A good decent amount.
I have some terrible ideas for character builds that I'm going to bring though.
Oh boy. When you see all my custom mechanics, I can imagine how broken you're gonna make things. I'll let you guys be custom as you want. You want to make your... Because you'll have all the normal D&D classes and 2 custom classes that are specifically unique to that world. Which is a Fire Emblem-based class and a Xenoblade-based class, but I won't force you to gacha because the gacha is pretty much already taken, so you can make your gacha handmade if you want. You can make your own personal blade if you want, or you could just be like Fire Emblem type class and let you use any Fire Emblem class to duel with your class. Essentially getting the feats from that class in the same way that you were doing in Pathfinder. So you can feel powerful and balanced. But yeah, if you want to just be a bear, I'll make you a bear that can... I'll make you like how I did for like every other animal race where you can transform into a full bear whenever you want and fight as a full beast while also just having a normal class.
I have a really funny idea.
Oh boy. I can't wait.
Also, is Petite included on this?
Yeah, I can bring Petite in. I'd be totally down to
I think you should bring Petite in because Petite, if I play the character that I want to play, Petite's gonna act up.
Oh boy.
Do you want me to send you the images of...
Yeah,
I want to make a polar bear version of this character. Let me look him up. Okay. I make them a woman though.
Let me sweet. Goodness, sexy, gracious. You know, since we'll probably have Shiri, I can finally expand on the Catboy lore and the the aristocrat Catboys and the fucking Elvins. That's probably why I'll make your guys' story focused around, because those are the 2 things I barely wrote about. Where there was this race of like very rich beast shifters who stopped shifting in the beasts, and then the elves. Ah, you blew me up. Beautiful, beautiful.
The last person I messaged you is a fucking bitch, but I love her.
Yeah, I'll totally be down to see whatever you guys do. I'm very flexible with my world lore. If needed, I can like write anything in and incorporate the world if need be. I'm pretty sure your guys' demands are less ridiculous than the actual players who were in last time.
One of the things that bothers me is when people go too far with homebrew. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, okay? Yeah. I'm gonna create pretty simple, like, structured things, and any homebrew I've done in the past has been very, very well regimented. You will not have to worry about me doing broken shit, because it's a pet peeve of mine when people have main character syndrome, which I'm a little bit worried about Shiri, but main character syndrome in a D&D campaign, where they try to like treat it like it's them and their party of NPCs rather than them and like every player characters on the same footing, you know?
Yeah, because like I told you, I couldn't do any of the Elven stuff because that girl took over the whole country, and anytime I tried to write anything Elven-wise, she would always just complain, being like, that's not how it is. And I'm like, this is my world. What do you mean it's not how it is? I couldn't do anything with the Elven country, but now I can.
Well, I'm sure you put the, you put the life back into the world, and that's what matters.
Yeah, I'll just turn it back into the story plot I want to, because there was so much complicated stuff about 4 houses, all these other politics, things I didn't know anything about. So it's not like I'm going to use it anyways. Let's use the simple thing. So you guys get to have normal, simple Elven lore about how they were racist towards Sylvans, which made Petite lose her mind when I said, oh yeah, Sylvans are sex havers, they die so easy, they get eaten for meat, etc., blah blah. But you know, the war's over and they have rights now, so you can just see the aftermath of that and learn more about it. I'll make up a villain. I'll make up conflict. Won't be a world-ending campaign, but it'll be a decently heavy, you know, hard kind of campaign depending on what kind of characters we have.
I love lore.
I love lore too.
I love making D&D characters.
Me too.
Also, if you want inspiration for or making homebrew, I think Pathfinder is a good place to look because it is a different system altogether. But a lot of the stuff in 1E is in creative, like it's 1E has been released into free use, like Creative Commons, and you can just kind of like sort through that, and they have crazy stuff, like they're bomb centric. In Pathfinder, one of the huge things is they have thrown weapons and bombs, and like they get a certain amount of mutations to themselves and consume mutagens to trade off mental stats for physical stats. Alchemists are very cool. All their spells are also extracts that they prepare in advance and only they can drink. Otherwise, it's a poison that makes people nauseous. So, like, mage armor would be like them producing like an armor field via like organs they create.
I see.
They can also create tumor familiars.
Tumor.
And then there's a perk where it's like willing sacrifice, where you make it so that if you would your health.
Oh.
It's so weird and gross. Okay, I'll leave y'all be. Best of luck with the drawing.
Bye-bye.
Res Greenbot said Twitch, Femboy we at Suokyuti.
And take care of yourself and don't do that shit again.
I will.
Your pal. You will do it again?
I'll take care of myself. I'll take care of myself. I'll take care of myself.
Okay. Have a good stream.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, chat. Bye, Cryo. Haha. What a series of events, chat, honestly. Well, now you guys know my very, very dumb D&D nonsense. I guess whenever Petite shows up, I'll tell her she can play too.
Cryopause at Femboy we at WYMQ. Res Greenbot said Twitch, NPC underscore or underscore po LWK. I have only played D&D once.
You played D&D once. It's fun. I'm looking forward to doing like a short session type game with Cryo, Petite, and Sherry, and whoever else. And Cryo putting into context of like how much money 14 fucking tokens and full arts costed. That's a lot of money. Do I actually have I think I might have the original sheet here for them. Do I? Let me see. Oh, my camera frozen. Wait, where's the other set? I'm trying to find the one we did on stream. I was trying to find the characters' portraits on stream, but I couldn't find them. I was trying to find the folder that had them all. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. No. Yeah, I don't know what it was called. I don't have it anymore. Yeah, I don't know what file those things could be in. I remember I drew them all on like a big canvas on stream before, but I don't think I have that anymore. Yeah, I don't think I have it. It was a long while ago, and I think I lost my original computer from then. So I probably don't have the folder with most of their portraits from long ago. It originally had like most of the player characters, like things on there from when I first started DMing. Huh. I'm still scratching my head because I'm still like scrolling through my files to see if I can find it. Could it be anywhere? Yeah, that clip file might just be gone. It has the original files for the original characters. I want to show you like how detailed they were without having to open up each and every single one. Because it's so much effort. I mean, I'm still probably not going to open up every single one regardless. Oh, I think I almost found it. Hold on, hold on. Because I want to show you guys how much effort I went through. Okay, I found it. They were called two different things. Yeah, I drew these on stream a long time ago when we first started DMing. And I did these are all like done in a single like ish night for most of them. Oh no, I did draw that one. Yes, I drew that one. Yeah, you can see I drew full portraits for all of them. Why is my thing lagging? Except for this one on the right. I didn't draw that one. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Fucking lag at the worst possible moments when I have things on screen that I probably don't want to show. Yeah, I drew pretty much all these for them. Oh my god, lag. Why is it lagging so much? This is really old and not really detailed files. But yeah, I drew that one. I drew these ones as well. Oh, but get me out of this. I don't know why it's lagging so much. Get me the fuck out of this. Why the fuck are we lagging? I'm losing my fucking mind. It's always lagging when I don't need it. Close these. No idea why it's doing that. Pissing me off. Huh? Always at probably what is an inconvenient moment. Yeah, that was the amount of like quality and effort I was putting into my D&D mottos. How long have we been streaming? 3 hours? Well, Shiri is doing his stream right now. We could raid him. Blah. Hello, hello. We'll probably raid Shiri after I feel comfortable with this one enough. We need to draw more of the details on it first. Alright, now I want to give it a plushie. The very rare Sandy plushies. I'm gonna make it look like one of the little imps that I always draw you guys as. We still do that. Maybe we'll do that on stream as well from the 100 follower special. The 2,000 follower special. I'll draw... I don't know who I draw. I guess whoever donates donates for a small doodle, I'll draw as an imp on stream. Their own customized imp. I have to see how much I should charge though. It shouldn't be too much. Maybe like $20 and I'll draw an imp for you. That seems fair, right, chat? $20 and I draw you a personalized version of your imp. You would just be a circle. Like this. 8 billion per imp? Imagine the economy, it'd be in shambles. This is a very long imp, but it looks better. You want to be a trapezoid? I can make you angular. It is. I like it. I probably might make this an actual outfit for my model. It wouldn't be too hard to do. This one would be Binky approved. I'd give this one a Binky. The only Sandy Binky model ever allowed. I'm always snoozing. This is where all my void essence goes. Honkshu, Mimimi, Amamir, Zizizi, and I was choked. Zelda Zone Zero. What do you mean slumbers? Arr. I'm not that cute. I'm just a guy. I'm just a little guy, chat members. A tired, sleepy little guy. Even more cute. I don't get you guys. The mischievous hip size. Always hidden. Never seen. Under my baggy clothes. My not large hips IRL. It is where all the fat goes, though. I didn't hear it. I saw the announcement on Twitter, but I didn't listen to it yet. I'll probably listen to it tonight before I go to bed. I'll have to listen to it then. I will make sure to do that. Yeah, I can do this. Chat, what do you think? What do you think in chat? We're not doing this actually. It was a funny small bit, but no. There you go. I was like, where are the bubbles? I'm starting to get in like more typography style stuff, chat. I think it'd be cool to make like very funny looking words. Typography is very hard though. Or graffiti style text. Especially if you're doing the distortions by hand without a reference. Do this. Let's rotate this one a bit more. You guys get what I'm going for here, right? With this typography, you guys get it. Okay, there we go. Wawa? Okay, Samni. Ah. I think I'm actually hungry, chat. Chat, is it okay if I end the stream and we raid Chewy? I'm pretty hungry. Can this sleepy boy take a little sleepy boy nap? Thank you, Pokey. Thank you. I love this sleepy outfit. Thank you all for coming. Let me raid you guys over to Shiri Bun. The last hour of the bunathon. Did anyone donate? How much time is left? Oh, they got 3 hours left. Thank you, Pokey. Yeah, I'll definitely make this into an outfit for my model. First after the Valentine's Day outfit, which I'll have to do. Lucky plushie, it's gonna be you next. More outfits for me to draw. More outfits for me to have. Best way with snooze out pants. Maybe after I draw this one, I'll probably draw a picture right next to it of me crushing you guys with my thighs. How about that? I'll draw a picture tomorrow of me squishing you between my bulged thighs. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll probably do it. I'll sketch it before we start Okami tomorrow. I'll do a little sketch. I think I like this outfit. This will be a new Sandy outfit. I'm still working on it a little bit, but I like this outfit. I have to still finalize the Valentine's Day outfit to see what I'm gonna do with that one. But thank you all for coming. I'm gonna go raid Shiri. You guys enjoy. I'll probably pop on Shiri's stream in like a little bit too, once I grab my snacks. Okay. So I will see you guys there. I will be there. I'll be on Shiri's stream. I will be on the stream, not just in the chat. I will be on the stream and I'll chat a little bit. But it's mainly Shiri's stream. Okay, so bye-bye. Bye, chat. Bye. Bye.